Let's get nasty on a Monday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsham, Anthony Stalter. Shohei Ohtani, boy, I don't know how he's going to make ends meet after signing a $700 million deal with the Dodgers over the weekend.
Well, Anthony, cut that in half for taxes, agent fees.
Agents.
The cost of internet is going up all the time. He better make sure he bundles.
Jet fuel can't be cheap. So he was signed with the Blue Jays on Friday. Then he actually signed with the Dodgers over the weekend. This was always the landing spot. It was always going to be the Dodgers.
I like
dating
the way
back
you
to
worded
last
that.
year.
Landing spot based on the fact that there was a plane that landed in Toronto that day.
Yeah.
However,
with the dude from Shark Tank.
Robert Herjavec. He's on, Marshy, I sent you this in your Twitter messages. He's on Overdrive. Jamie McLennan, Jeff O'Neill, like in Toronto, TSN, their radio. He's on Overdrive today at some point, going to talk about how he was misperceived as Shohei Ohtani.
That's great.
And he's kind of giggling about the whole thing.
He probably wishes he was, right? At this point,
okay
although he's probably doing okay.
Yeah, he's fine.
$700 million. So the Dodgers a year ago, we talked about it. They were way too quiet. They were way too quiet in free agency.
Lying in the weeds.
They were lying in the weeds. They knew they were going to make a strong push for Shohei Ohtani.
I didn't think they were going to do it. You were steadfast on this. I will give you full credit. From the moment they signed pretty much nobody last year, you said on these airwaves, that's because they're waiting for Shohei Ohtani. And I thought, okay, it makes sense, but then I also thought, it's the Dodgers. They could do whatever the hell they want now and still get Ohtani.
Right.
So I thought, now you're 100% right. You are vindicated, my friend.
Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate that.
Enjoy the moment.
I'm not going to enjoy it because he's a Dodger. I said on Friday it would have been fine had he gone up to Toronto, stay in the American League. No, but he's a Dodger, and now it's Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts and Will Smith and Shohei Ohtani. Do you think this works out, though?
For who?
700. Well, it's going to work out for Ohtani. But this is one player. One player making $700 million. Jamie, you had mentioned it before.
Mookie Betts is jealous? He doesn't care.
No, I don't think anybody's jealous. I'm just talking about one player for one team. Like, this can't work out, right?
I don't know. Look, if the Yamamoto rumors are somewhat true and the Dodgers are still in on him, that's going to be $1 billion on
for
two players.
How do you survive on that? Even when you're the Dodgers and you're a big media market. Like, this can't work, right? There's got to be some sort of balance here from the baseball gods.
Hell, it hasn't worked. They've only won one World Series out of all the years that they've been competitive.
Great point,
and
Marsh.
It was a COVID year.
I was listening to somebody talk about, Dodgers haven't won since '88. I'm like, oh, they won in the COVID year. Nobody remembers it.
No one cares.
Like, nobody cares. Nobody counts it.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani. So one player, $700 million. I'm not saying he's not worth the contract because obviously somebody who's willing to pay it. That's always my rule.
Well, there were more than one willing to pay it.
Sure.
Apparently the Blue Jays were ready to offer the exact same contract.
So many teams, not many, multiple teams were willing to pay the $700 freight. Is this good for baseball, do you think? You got, just on paper, you've got the Phillies, you've got the Braves, you've got the Dodgers, you've got who? The Astros, the Rangers.
Up in the top echelon, we got the Mets. I mean, they may not be right now, but the Mets, who knows? Steve Cohen might just pay somebody stupid money just because.
He might, but I'm just talking about looking at the rosters on paper. You watch the NFL, and boy, there's some bad games. Marsh, you saw one yesterday. Stalter Sackup really tried to sink your Vikings.
Wow, hey, what a gutsy performance. That defense, man, there's something else.
Lowest scoring game in an indoor venue in NFL history. So the NFL's got some rough games. There's the product isn't always high quality. But, like, everybody's in it for the most part, unless you're a Carolina Panthers fan, a Chicago Bears fan, like New England Patriots fan.
Don't sleep on the Bears, man. Okay. They've been winning some games.
Seriously, I don't even want to talk about the Bears today.
But there's...
why is that? Because your team's full of a bunch of frauds?
Probably.
Oh, man, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
That's a harsh statement, coming from your Vikings who put up 3 points.
Hey, a W's a W, baby.
That's true, especially in the NFL.
W's like Jameis Winston.
There you go. But in the NFL, there's at least parity. Like, all the games are coming down to the wire. You don't really know what's going to happen. It's the ultimate drama. Baseball, even though you had the Diamondbacks making their run, you look on paper, you're like, oh, okay, it's 4 teams. 4 teams. That's it. If you're the Cardinals, you're not going to compete with this on paper.
Anthony, you just got to get in.
You just got to get in.
Okay, but so that leads me to what we talked about. I came in today hot on this a little bit because we here in Cardinal Nation hate that sentence. Mm-hmm. All you got to do is get in and you never know.
Yeah, it's very complacent.
And then as soon as somebody pushes back, you go, hey, how about 06? Huh? How about that? How about 11? Just get in, baby. Okay. So now, here we are in the present. I'm not going to talk about 06 and 11 because that drives me crazy too when I hear that, like going back in history. In the now, there's no way the Cardinals would ever pay $1 billion for 2 players, let alone $700 for 1 player. So are we finally willing to somewhat embrace, let's just get in and you never know? And hear me out. Based on the signings the Dodgers have made and what they could potentially make, and then also watching some of the catastrophic disasters in the Mets and in the Padres last year, who ended up with the same amount of playoff games as the Cardinals, but spending quadruple and double their payroll.
Right.
Are we finally in the camp of not just getting players from the P pool, but getting players that can get you into the playoffs, and we go from there?
All right. So You set everybody in motion here on a Monday.
I'm just saying.
Everybody's going to be fired up. People are going to be fired up in the Snake Pit, our Air Alliance team YouTube channel at 101 ESPN STL. If you want to leave some mic drop via the free 101 ESPN app, responding to what Jamie just said, I'll give you my answer. I'm not going to be okay with it until there's a direction with the organization. I don't feel there's much of a direction with the organization. For example, the Rays don't spend anything, but they're smart, they're savvy. If you're going to be smart and savvy, I'm okay with you not spending. If you're going to be the ultimate talent evaluators, I'm okay with it. If you're going to zig while everybody else is zagging, I'm okay with it. But you got to think outside the box. Signing Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson and Sonny Gray, that's not really signing outside. You're
picking up 330-plus-year-olds.
You just filled your rotation. Anthony. That's all you did. You just filled your rotation. I don't know what the actual game plan is.
What's the pivot then?
The pivot to me...
You can't just say you don't like it and offer me no solution.
The pivot to me would be to build, and it'd take a little bit, but to build the absolute best starting rotation and bullpen that talent evaluation can provide. Notice I didn't say spending because obviously you're not going to. That's the whole thing. You're not going to spend to that degree.
Yeah.
But if they built a pitching staff and threw all their investments behind building an absolute disgusting pitching staff, but they had to do it in a way that was more Cardinal-like, I'm good with that. I'm not good with just get in if you're going to do the bare minimum.
Okay, so let's bring it right back now. Do you really feel like Lance Lynn, Gibby, and Sonny Gray are the bare minimum?
Yes.
How can you say that?
Because Sonny Gray might not be,
but then you can't just blanket it. Well, that's the bare minimum.
That is the bare minimum.
How?
Because they had to have somebody in the rotation.
So who else are you getting for those price tags that you think can pitch?
I'm fine with it because they had to do it right now. But moving forward, knowing that everybody is spending what they're spending, you better be drafting the best possible pitchers in the draft, year in and year out.
I agree.
Like stockpile pitching.
I think the Cardinals are another full season away from that herd of young pitchers making an impact.
We're saying the same thing. I agree. There's nothing they could have done this offseason.
Correct.
Like Shohei Ohtani just signed for $700 million. Now we're having this conversation. I'm not bemoaning what they did, but this is also part of what the Cardinals have done in the past, where it's like, let's see here. It's the grocery shopping thing that I always bring up.
Noticing now the margin between what some of these big market teams are willing to spend or able to spend in any order, able and willing, whatever it is, and what you're not able or willing to spend. Like, maybe it's always been that way, but this is just the first time we look at it because it's a $700 million.
Then I think it's worse that the Cardinals have operated this way.
Bite your tongue.
Because the Rays have done it much better then.
Yeah, but okay, so exactly. So to flip that devil's advocate here, the Rays just get in.
Yeah, but the Rays get in all the time.
Just get in.
And they've got good young talent. And like, hey, you know what? This team ain't bad. Like, their talent evaluation is off the charts. If you want to be like a version of the Rays, great. Then be a version of the Rays and scout better than anybody. Yeah, fleece teams.
We know that's not happening.
You know what?
Now.
The Brewers do that too. The Brewers never have the best team on paper. Always kicking your ass, though, the last couple of years. Why? Because their talent evaluation is off the charts. You see what I'm saying?
Well, those teams are all regular season teams. We go back to the COVID year, right? Look at the Rays.
Disagreement.
Look at the Rays. They went to the World Series that year.
Right.
They're a regular season team. Other than the COVID year, they're not that good in the playoffs.
No disagreement.
Same with the Dodgers. I mean, the Dodgers have made it to LCS,
sure,
NLCS and whatnot, but they have yet to, other than the COVID year, win a World Series. They are a regular season team. They dominate in the regular season, but that's why they won in 2020 because that was essentially
it's a shortened year.
It was a shortened year.
No, listen, Marsh, you're absolutely right. There's no refuting that. What I'm saying is the Rays and Brewers are spending less than you and still better than you. Like, there's got to be, okay, so you can't spend, right? You can't spend, to Jamie's point, you can't spend with what the league is spending. So we just got to kind of do our thing. Okay. Well, the Rays and the Brewers are spending less than you, and they got better rosters.
Well, they got better scouting.
Exactly.
Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest.
So off your scouting, you can't spend $700 million, fine, but you better pay in something else.
And I've said that from the beginning. Remember, I told you 2 years ago, I said increasing payroll doesn't necessarily mean players.
Right.
Expanding your staff, the pitching lab, which apparently the Cardinals haven't gotten the pigeon carrier hasn't come yet with the letter to say, hey, you guys should have a pitching lab.
Bare minimum.
I totally agree with that. But that to me is a side note, okay? I'm talking about spending the money on the actual players that get on the diamond. And if the bar has been set with what those big market teams are doing and what they're willing to just throw around, whether it's smart or frivolously, the Cardinals can't do that. So the get in and you never know has to apply.
You just mentioned like the pitching lab. I couldn't help but think. A shout out to my dad. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Dad. When I was younger, he's always been, you know.
Had you hooked up in a lab?
No.
Did you get electrocuted every time you touched the sandwich?
Boy, a lot's coming back to me now. No, he built like this makeshift like little pitching stand thing. That's what I feel like the Cardinals have. Like they built.
BT built a mound for his kid.
I think it was his father-in-law.
I had one of those in my basement where you would throw to a certain spot, and it was if it hit like a certain thing,
it bounced back to you.
No, it would say strike or ball.
That's what the Cardinals have in Jupiter.
Yeah.
Welcome to our pitching lab. This is what we have.
Right now is on a wooden bump in Jupiter throwing into a netting that if he pitches right, it comes right back to him.
Exactly.
They have one of those wiffle ball strike zones where if you hit it, it hits the tinfoil and makes a noise.
Exactly.
You get the PVC pipe.
And anybody that complains, the Cardinals are like, it was good enough for Gibby. It's good enough for you. Get back up there.
Well, we haven't seen Gibby yet.
Yeah,
it might be good enough for him.
Well, not that Gibby.
Jamie, you mentioned the Cardinals don't have good enough scouting compared to these other teams.
I'm assuming they don't.
I would argue that.
Don't even assume.
I just assume. I don't know.
Is it the scouting, though? Because it seems like they have good players, or is it the player development once those players are in the organization?
Either way, they're giving these guys up, too, right? Like,
because
part
the players
of the evaluation.
That they have they end up being pretty good once they leave here.
That's fair. Yeah.
So
the evaluation.
Somebody on the text line real quick says, from the 636, it's dumb to build this argument around an Ohtani signing. It's not realistic. Okay, pick your pony. Pick your highest, pick Max Scherzer.
Right.
Pick Justin Verlander. Pick your highest priced pony, and the Cardinals are not paying that freight.
No.
They're just not. They're not able to or not willing, or both.
Pick the Phillies roster then if you don't want to do the Ohtani conversation.
So just get in. And you never know, Anthony.
Yeah.
T-shirts will be available soon. Just get in, and on the back, you never know.
Oh, boy. All right.
I think I like that.
So leave us a mic drop. I know Jamie fired up the listeners on that one. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Let's get into the Blues. We've got some news on Vrana here we're going to get into. We'll spend some time on the Blues. We will talk about the Chiefs situation, the Patrick Mahomes situation. We haven't pissed off Cardinals fans. We just pissed off Chiefs fans. It's one of those days.
That was Patrick Mahomes live after morning stretch.
It's one of those days. Blues next on 101 ESPN.
Happy holidays from Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. Make your holiday shine bright with the Chevy Red Tag Bonus Cash. That's right. Check out some of these savings on some of the vehicles available. Got the 2023 Silverado 1500 RST. The retail suggested price, $66,275. The Londoff Red Tag price, $51,275. How about the 2024 Equinox LT? Retail price, $33,560. Red Tag price, $29,560. Save about $4,000 there. Johnny Londoff Chevrolet has a huge inventory of the #1 selling small SUV in the U.S., the all-new 2024 Chevy Trax. It's a generously sized interior, impressive feature content, and good looks at a super affordable price tag. So please take a moment and go visit one of the Londoff locations. They got the original Londoff Chevrolet in Florissant, Missouri. The new Londoff Autoplex out there in St. Peters. Both locations have great inventory, and they're both running the Chevy Red Tag Bonus Cash right now. When you get in there, tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you in. Please tell them I said hi. But if you can't get there in person, get there online. Visit them at londoff.com or londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. You can reach us at any point throughout the course of the show today, either via the mic drop feature of the 101 ESPN app or the Air Comfort Service tax line, 314-399-9646. Of course, if you're watching the Snake Pit today, we appreciate that at 101 ESPN.
We should get T-shirts made for people who are in the Snake Pit.
What do you think they'd look like?
Well, they'd have Snake Pit written on it for sure. You'd have to give me a few minutes. You know me, Anthony. My brain gets working, okay? I can figure these things out.
You do. You typically do a great job with any sort of marketing.
I find a way to get to what I need to.
Yeah.
Leave it with me, okay?
Okay.
I'll take it to my camp. We'll have people figure it out.
Like synergyhockeyskills.com.
That's right, baby.
Nice T-shirt on Jamie today.
T-shirts not available, but they are good looking.
What they are. You've given me several. I wear them all the time. All different colors. What should we know about Jakub Vrana?
Well, Anthony, so he's from the Czech Republic, and we acquired him.
What's his status with the Blues, or lack thereof?
Yeah. So, it's you asked. I'm just saying.
I know better.
You should, especially after 4 years. 3.5. Anyways,
It was supposed to be 4.
It's supposed to be 4. Yeah, things happen. But So here's what we know about Jakub Vrana. He wasn't on the ice for practice. It was rumored that he would be placed on waivers today. And it's certain people having contact with his agent flat out said he's going on waivers today. Mm-hmm. So then when Jakub Vrana did not go on waivers, that was somewhat surprising. 2 things can come of that. One, they had like some big meeting and figured things out. Doubtful.
Yeah.
Highly doubtful. Or
came to a consensus, did they?
Yeah, no, I don't think that happened. But the latter of it could be that you found somebody who would trade for Jakub Vrana. Now, they're not going to trade you anything that is considered to be valuable. Heck, they may not even take on his full salary. You may have to eat half of it. But at least as an organization, you're paying half the salary. If you send him to the minors, you got to pay the full freight. Mm-hmm. Like you do get some cap relief there, but not like anything that's like extravagant. I think $1 million would go against the cap, so you get an $800,000 relief. Whatever. If you can find somebody to take on half of his contract, to eat half of it, and it is what it is. So that's what I think happened. Is that in the 11th hour, maybe somebody poked their nose in, or Army found somebody who was willing to give him another chance, based upon, his season in Washington, because that's kind of how far you have to go back.
Oof.
What? Too real?
No, spot on.
Yeah.
Outside of some flashes in the second half last year, but the expectations were low.
How many meaningful games did the Blues play once Jakub Vrana was here?
1-0.
Yeah.
0.0.
I don't want to say it's easy. It's easier to just go out there when it doesn't matter if you win or lose, as long as you score your goal. Mm-hmm. It's easier. And there's been a number of people that have reached out to me on social media and even via the text line and things like, he never got a chance to play with Robert Thomas and Pavel Buchnevich. How do we know? You got to earn that crap.
No kidding.
You don't just get handed the top line.
Would you want that as a Blues fan, just a player to be handed an opportunity to play?
Some people are like hell-bent that, Chief just wants grinders. He just wants grinders. He doesn't want playmakers, really. He's got Thomas, he's got Kyrou, he's got Buchnevich. How many guys can make plays? He's got lots.
Yeah.
He doesn't just want grinders. And knowing full well what Jakub Vrana was when he came to the Blues, Chief is not going to say, I want that guy to run people through the boards. No. He wants him to produce, but he wants him to compete.
Yeah.
So what I witnessed this season so far was like very little compete. Mm-hmm. And what I witnessed over the weekend was even less than desirable.
It's time to move on. He's not a fit.
The 2 first goals against Chicago were direct results of there's no compete along the wall.
Right.
And the one that looked like he was afraid to get hit. And so he just let the guy go. Mm-hmm. And then the goal happened like right after. He can't have that. What message are you sending?
Right.
So I don't know ultimately what the status of Vrana is. He may still go on waivers. Who knows? But as of today at 1 o'clock, when it was waiver wire time, he was not placed on waivers. Mm-hmm. And again, who knows? Maybe they had this big powwow and discovered that he's going to give it another shot. If so, hey, good luck to Jakub Vrana. I hope he figures it out. I just don't know at this point if that's going to happen.
That's Jamie Rivers and Anthony Stalter. Blues Red Wings pregame starting at 5:30 tomorrow night as the Blues host the hated Detroit Red Wings, who are playing tonight. In fact, they are in, I think, Dallas tonight. So we'll see David Perron and company, Ville Husso, tomorrow night when they come back to Enterprise Center, Blues and Red Wings. It's the Fast Lane on 101 to ESPN. I know we've been getting some mic drops. We'll let them continue to pour in on the question that Jamie threw out today, which is that after seeing the Ohtani $700 million contract, are you kind of at peace with the Cardinals just having the approach of build a roster competitive enough just to get in? I imagine that won't sit well with most of you, but I'm interested if there's any sort of perspective now based on how the Dodgers might spend about $1 billion on one player. So we'll get some mic drops throughout the course of the show, but we got to talk about this Chiefs situation. Patrick Mahomes,
live in Kansas City,
and Andy Reid complaining about the referees doing their jobs. There's also another aspect of yesterday. Hey, Buffalo, you're not off the hook either. We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN.
Oh, Anthony, I woke up early this morning, and man, was it cold out. I mean, I knew winter was here. It's cold. It's freezing. I was unhappy. But then I realized, guess what? FanDuel stays red hot, baby. They're America's #1 sports book for a reason. And new customers can take advantage of that right now. They just they get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. So I know you know this, Anthony, but some of our listeners may not realize. A money line bet is all you have to do is pick the winning team. Mm-hmm. So find the biggest lopsided match that you have, and hopefully that team wins. And if they do, you get $150 in bonus bets.
Yeah, not a guarantee because nothing is, but boy, it's close to a guarantee, especially we have like the Dolphins playing the Titans tonight. And I know two things, Jamie. I know two things about you. One, you don't care how cold it is. You're from Canada. You take your shirt off anyway, so you also take your shirt off when you see promotions like this from FanDuel.
You should put it back on.
No, you're fine. The app, it's easy to use. Once you win that $150 in bonus credit from FanDuel, then you can use it on the spreads, the player props, the same game parlays, all available at FanDuel. Maybe you want to sprinkle in some MVP odds, but you got to get signed up. Visit FanDuel.com/fast. Again, FanDuel.com/fast, and then you can play at FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL.
21 and over, present in Illinois. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame money line wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable bonus. Best that expires 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues lost to the Blackhawks 3-1 over the weekend. They'll be back in action tomorrow taking on the Red Wings. Pregame starts at 5:30. Puck drop is at 6:30. You can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. Tonight we have Titans and Dolphins Monday Night Football. But the big story in the NFL this week is the Bills and Chiefs game. Patrick Mahomes a little frustrated after what happened last night towards the end of the game. We're going to dive into that next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Selling out, flag on the play, might be a free one. They've got Kelsey at the 30. Kelsey 25, angling back. 20, now he's going to lateral it back at the 15-yard line. It's Tony, 10, 5, touchdown, quarterback.
Number 19, offense, lined up in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty.
Offsides by the offense, lined up in the neutral zone.
One of the most exciting plays. A TD is wiped off the board and a 5-yard penalty.
Offensive offside in that moment, man. Terrible.
So that was Patrick Mahomes on the field complaining about the fact that the NFL has some rules and they were being enforced. Real quick question for Patrick Mahomes, who I absolutely love. I look at the greatness. I know you do. I know you do. I love Mahomes. I love Andy Reid. I love Travis Kelce.
Oh, stop. They're not listening.
I enjoy. Yeah, I don't care. I enjoy watching him play. I always have. He's incredible. What if that was the Bills? What if that was Josh Allen and Shakir was lined up in the slot and he was so far into the neutral zone that you would have thought he's playing for the Chiefs?
Hey, good call.
What if they didn't call that? And the same thing happened and the Bills scored on that. Is Mahomes okay with the rules then?
Let's just talk about. Why
is this a discussion?
Let's just talk about the offside just for a second.
Sure.
Because we have so much more to unpack. And we might talk about it a couple times during the day. So if you're a listener, you don't want to hear about it, I'm sorry, you will be entertained anyways. I promise you, okay? Kadarius Toney, couple things. I've watched that play no less than 20 times now because I'm in disbelief that a professional athlete could be so freaking oblivious as to how stupid he is for being offside in that critical moment. But not only is he completely lined up offside to where the line judge can't even see the ball.
Can't do his job.
Secondly, to this whole defense thing that they've got, like, oh, they should warn us, or we could ask for are we okay? Thumbs up, am I good? To the line judge, and they give us the courtesy. Kadarius Toney's eyeballs never leave the football. Anthony, his head didn't move. I thought he was doing the mannequin challenge. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
He was like zoned in on that.
Right.
A yard offside, staring at the ball.
I think I'm close.
Real quick on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
There is no rule that the referee has to tell the receiver that he's onside or offsides.
No, it's just like there's no rule that the referee says, hey, by the way, you're not allowed to have 12 players on the field, coach.
It's a courtesy if the wide receiver looks over to the ref and asks him if he's offsides, if he's in the neutral zone. It's a courtesy for the ref to say, yeah, back up.
And it's not an automatic. It's a respect thing, too.
Exactly.
If you're a donkey, the refs will just stare at you and not answer.
Right.
If you're a good dude, then they'll go, hey, back up.
And most do. Most say, you're offsides. That's not the official's job to line up. That's Kadarius Toney's job to line up onsides. He lined up in the neutral zone, but they could have thrown the flag on Buffalo for having too many defensive players on the field. That's how far offsides he was. Like, that was ridiculous. Ridiculous. Now, I know you got some thoughts on Mahomes.
Yeah, so here's my problem with Patrick Mahomes, and I'll go back to I don't know how many months ago. I finished watching quarterback or quarterbacks, whatever it's called.
Yeah, quarterback, I think.
Okay, so Kirk Cousins, Marcus Mariota.
Which is weird that they had him there and they named it quarterback, but go ahead.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Man.
And then they had Patrick Mahomes. And so my power rankings at the time for those three quarterbacks, based on just who they are as people, was, before I started it, was Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Marcus Mariota. Mm-hmm. That was my power rankings. By the end of that series, it was Kirk Cousins,
Star Award winner,
Patrick Mahomes, just because Marcus Mariota dropped a ninja bomb and disappeared on his team, and Marcus Mariota.
Right.
And I couldn't believe how annoyed I was by watching Patrick Mahomes.
So your real power rankings were Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, yeah. He, by far, in that whole series, Kirk Cousins won me over.
Yeah.
Beauty.
And watching Patrick Mahomes, sometimes the way he acts on the field, and even the way he's talking, and like it seemed to me like, yes, he's a star. He's a great athlete. Maybe the best all-around quarterback the NFL has ever seen. So I'm admitting that. But man, is he annoying. As a teammate of his, I'd be like, bro, I'm getting sick of your crap. Now, you're awesome and everything, and I'm probably not going to punch you in the face because you're making me a lot of money and we're winning some rings here. But, dude, take it down a notch with how obnoxious you're being. And then you carry it over to yesterday, and you watch him, and it just unraveled. And I was like, not like this is who he really is, because that was an intense moment. He was fired up.
Yeah.
But you're the leader of the football team. You're the best player in the NFL. Like, act like it. Act like it. Like, once the game is over, you get to the podium, you take your shower, maybe you have a quick meeting with Andy Reid. And Andy Reid, too, is at fault here. If I'm Andy Reid, let's just go back, okay? This was a regular season game. Let's go back to the Western Conference Finals against the San Jose Sharks, a hand pass. Mm-hmm. That's a playoff. That's a Western Conference Final playoff game that you lost because a referee missed a call. And Craig Berube quickly called his team in and galvanized the group and said, we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's over. We're worried about the next game. Mm-hmm. This didn't happen. Andy Reid didn't do that. Didn't reel in his players, certainly didn't reel in Patrick Mahomes. In fact, ended up backing him later on with things they said. So then Patrick Mahomes, and do we have his audio, Marshy? So Patrick Mahomes, following the game, doubles down on his behavior towards a play that was clearly offside. Here's what he said.
I mean, obviously tough to swallow. I mean, not only for me, but just for football in general. I mean, just to take away greatness like that. I mean, for a guy like Travis to make a play like that, and who knows if we win. But as I know, as fans, you want to see the guys on the field decide the game. And that's why last week I didn't say anything about the flag that didn't get called on the Marquez. And so, I mean, they're human, man. They make mistakes. But, I mean, it's every week we're talking about something, and all I can do is go out there and give everything I have, and I'm proud of the guys because that's what we did, and it was a great football game that ended, another great football game that just ended like that. It's just tough to swallow.
That last part there, compliments of 101 ESPN. So a couple things to unpack with that. Travis Kelce's career, he's bringing up Travis Kelce's career on a lateral pass. Anthony, what
this is greatness.
What? No, honestly, I'm going to become unraveled here. For a guy like Travis Kelce, the great career that he's had for this unfortunate... What? Help me. Save me, because I'm about to say something. I'm going to get fired here. I'm going to get fired.
I want to let you go.
No, don't, because I'm going to get fired. Take over. Because I can't believe you brought up Travis Kelce and his great career over a lateral pass.
In which the officials correctly call. Like, this shouldn't even be a conversation. It really shouldn't be.
Oh, my God.
It was a pretty cool play.
It was a pretty cool play. It was.
Yeah, it was a cool play. That, was offside.
It was awesome.
It was a pretty cool play. It didn't count and shouldn't have.
Does that encapsulate Travis Kelce's career?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Here's the thing.
Lord,
they have benefited from calls for multiple years now.
Including in the Super Bowl.
Including against the Minnesota Vikings this year. But, just move on. Move on.
Okay, so we all like Bill Burr, right? We all love his comedy. You guys seen his comedy specials?
Yes.
A lot of them anyways. Bill Burr in one of his comedy specials starts talking about he and his wife had to give up their dog, right? Like take it to, there's another family who's going to come over and take the dog, right? Because the dog was, I think he bit somebody or whatever. They had
His mother-in-law?
No, they had to give the dog, to another family. But Bill Burr, he's talking about how much he loves his dog. And in the weeks leading up to them giving away, Bill Burr was talking about how his wife would, every once in a while, she'd just start crying. She's upset. And Bill Burr was like, why is she crying? Why is she crying? And then it dawned on him that she was preparing herself for that moment, so that when the moment came where the new family came over to get the dog, she'd be ready to move on, to let go, right? Not that she wouldn't be sad, but just to let go. Burr did not do any of that. He was talking about how he just stuffed his feelings down constantly, and then at the end of it is, they had to give the dog away, and he went in the bathroom and just he still stuffed down his feelings. And he jokes about how, he goes, I can't wait 5 years down the road, somebody's going to get that emotion. That doesn't just go away. 5 years from now, I can't wait.
I'm bottling this up.
The poor you-know-what that's going to feel my wrath, not knowing what it was for, but it was because I stuffed the emotions down from the dog. Last night was not about Mahomes and the NFL and that crap. This is a seasons long of frustration for him that boiled over. He's projecting.
Yes.
He doesn't know that he's ticked off because he doesn't have Tyreek Hill and they don't have competitive receivers, ones that know how to line up or ones that know how to catch the ball. Marquez Valdez-Scantling looking at you on that second one.
There's 33 drops this season.
He's frustrated, yeah. He's frustrated because he knows this team is not good enough to win a Super Bowl. Subconsciously, he doesn't know. He's just stuffing it down. And finally, he starts to react to this. Oh, the NFL, it's taking away greatness. You know that's not true, Pat.
You can't react.
You know this. You can't throw your teammates under the bus.
Yes.
You can't throw your front office under the bus. He's out there alone on offense right now.
Yeah.
It's him, not alone. It's him. It's Kelsey. It's a little bit of Rashee Rice. Pacheco didn't play yesterday, so he's got two guys. He knows this offense isn't good enough to win a Super Bowl. What we saw yesterday, we're a long ways away from 13 seconds matchup. These two teams are not Super Bowl quality. So when I'm watching that, I'm like, oh, he's projecting. This ain't even about the NFL and the greatness and stuff like that. This is frustration that is finally coming out from Mahomes.
And he has to essentially put that on the NFL and the refs because he can't go up to Kadarius Toney and say, you're a bonehead. That's a bonehead move. And that's not the first time you've cost this team a win.
Yeah, he can't say that.
You can't do that, or you look like a really bad teammate.
Well, he didn't help himself very much either way. I'll tell you that. With what he did, it's just a different avenue, same behavior. But you absolutely have to talk to your teammate. You got to get in there. Not yesterday because he'd probably end up in a fist fight if you go grab a guy and be like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
You wait till probably tomorrow because tomorrow's probably first day back at the headquarters or whatever. I'm talking about the practice facility.
Today would be, yeah.
Today?
Yeah, because Tuesday's off.
Okay, so today would have been the day to talk about it, whatnot. But if you're Patrick Mahomes, you have to be aware. This is why I talk about Andy Reid, the leadership, Patrick Mahomes' leadership. I'm going to go back to Craig Berube in the hand pass play. Craig Berube had about 2 to 3 minutes before all of the media were going to collapse on that locker room and ask about it. And within that time span, he got every player to buy into the we don't care, we're moving on. And that didn't happen yesterday. So Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes should have had a quick conversation talking about, listen, we know whose fault this is. Let's just deflect. It didn't go our way. It's a tough job. Would have liked to win that game. We have to play better. Boom, done.
Moving on.
And then we talked to Kadarius Toney on the side and said, dude, what are you doing? You're dropping balls everywhere. You're running the routes wrong. You're lazy on that play. We haven't even gotten into that, by the way.
Yeah.
Because Shannon Sharp broke that down this morning, how Kadarius Toney was only open on that lateral because he got lazy on the play. He was supposed to be downfield. Right. But he wasn't, and so he got a lateral.
Kelsey had to make a pretty good throw.
He did, too. It was nice. He had pressure. There was arms there.
I think his career.
Might be the greatest thing in his career ever.
Summed up right there in that throw. Yeah. I didn't even get to the Bills part of this, too, because they got away with something last night, too. We'll bank it, absolutely. We want to hear from you, though. Leave us a mic drop if you haven't already. Jamie threw it out there. After seeing the $700 million Ohtani deal, and really all the deals that have been going on in the last 2 years in Major League Baseball, are you finally kind of embracing or at peace with the fact that the Cardinals are only going to be able to do so much with their roster building? I think he ticked you off, but
I think they like it.
We'll find out next on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, talking about that Patrick Mahomes thing, got the testosterone just pumping through me. I'll tell you what, I was getting a little angry, a little fired up, thanks to mentality, because I was low on testosterone, didn't even realize it. It was a long time ago now, and I was feeling tired and irritable, even more so than today, and went into mentality, and the board-certified physicians sat down, talked to me, asked me questions, personal questions, what I'd like to accomplish, had no idea where it was going to lead. Did a blood panel on me, found I was low in testosterone, other vitamins, and since then we have expanded my program to where I'm using peptides now for old injuries to help them heal and things like that. I feel phenomenal, and all of it is thanks to mentality.
I want to talk to the dudes that are like Jamie and I and wanted to do everything the difficult way, because that's what Jamie and I were doing. We're doing it the difficult way, and you might be somebody that's like that too. Your workouts stink. You don't have the energy. You're not consistent with it.
I can just plow my way through this.
Yeah, no. Maybe your work performance stinks and you want to blame everybody else, knowing that you're not at peak performance. If that's you right now and you don't do something about it, Jamie and I are telling you right now, you're missing a golden opportunity. Go down to mentality. They'll put you on a program. You are going to feel great. You are going to be more consistent. Jamie's in the gym all the time, even when he's traveling. I'm in the gym all the time. I look around now. Used to be 3 coffee cups in front of Jamie, 2 energy drinks in front of me. It's ridiculous. Now, just water. We've got the energy. We got the motivation. We feel great. But you have to do something about it, like going down to mentality.
Yeah, when you go to mentality, please tell them that Anthony and Jamie sent you in. And if for some reason you can't get there in person, get there online. Visit them at lowtusa.com. Again, that's mentality at lowtusa.com.
Hey guys, so congratulations to Ohtani. His salary just makes me giggle. But the St. Louis Cardinals, team I love, they've lost their way. We used to be known for pitching and defense. We used to be known for stellar leadership. Hell, we don't run the bases right. Fundamentals stink. 1,125 runners left on base. Somebody tell me, what exactly does the St. Louis Cardinals stand for nowadays? That's a good question. Because here's the deal. When Whitey took over, they built for speed and defense, right? When Tony took over, hard nine. That's the kind of athlete he got. Tell me, what does this hodgepodge of athletes and leadership, what exactly does that stand for? So that's my curiosity. And Ohtani, wouldn't you just like to see one paycheck? All right, guys, thanks.
Yeah, that'd be nice. One paycheck for everybody on a Shohei Ohtani. Lisa absolutely nailed that. Nailed it. Nailed the take. I completely agree with her, guys. The Cardinals are like this, are in search of like this balance, I feel. And maybe I'm completely wrong, but based on their decision-making, their actions, the way they build a roster, the way that they utilize that roster, it's like this balance. Dude, become great at something. Know when you go into a game, know that you go into a series, you're going to have to beat this. I'm not saying we don't have holes. I'm not saying we don't have issues. But one thing I do know, we're going to pitch well. And we're going to play suffocating defense. Good luck with that. We might not be able to hit 1 through 9. You have a better lineup, Dodgers. You have a better lineup, Phillies. You have a better lineup, Braves and Yankees. But we've got the best starting rotation in the league. And it's backed by one of the best bullpens. Do something great. Build something great. Become great in something. Lisa's right. The identity, they played to it. They embraced it. That's long gone. It is this, we're gonna have a nice balance. And when our lefty comes up, he's got to match up well with your righty. So if he doesn't, and then you're falling back on nothing. So, Jamie, you're right when you say, you're not going to be able to spend like this. Should we just embrace it? I'm willing to do that if I know what I'm embracing. I can't just embrace this. We'll fill out the roster, and then we'll see what happens. No. And I don't think you're about that either.
No, I'm not. Listen, when I start to lean towards the side of, just get in and you never know, it's not because I want to field a team that is substandard. I want a team that's still competitive. But at some point, you have to look across the diamond and realize that you can't compete financially with some of these teams. So the Ohtanis, the Blake Snells, the Nolas, the Scherzers, they're just not in your category. Mm-hmm. They're just not. So you have to try and develop those players. And when you develop them, you got to hang on to them. Now, that's the part that I'm still curious for the Cardinals. If one of these starters turns into a number one or an ace, who knows, right? What will they do to hang on to that player? Or will they let him walk? Because the trend that I've seen is that they're willing to let a player walk at a certain point. So Albert's a great example, one of the greatest baseball players ever to play the game, one of the greatest Cardinals to ever play. He did resign, they extended him, all that, but when it got to a puke point, they let him walk. Now, did they make the right decision? Yeah, they did. And they brought him back at the perfect time, and history was made, and all that was awesome. But I'm just wondering if this version of the Cardinals now, if they have a young player that's worthy of a contract like we're seeing, and he's homegrown and developed here, will they then pony up the money? That's what I'm curious to.
Yeah, I would like to see it.
I mean, I'd love to have that player. We haven't had that.
Right.
That's kind of my point, is we haven't had to worry about that. Mm-hmm. So we don't know. And I'm not saying $700 million, because that will never be duplicated while I'm alive. Maybe in 35, 40, 50 years from now, who knows? Maybe I'll still be alive, Anthony. You never know. Mentality's working pretty good.
Yeah, you'll be there.
Yeah. But I just wonder, thank you. Just wonder if the Cardinals would do that. I don't know. All
right, we'll carry this over. We're up against a break here, but more of your mic drops on the Ohtani and the Cardinals. I mean, what do you do? What's the pivot? We'll get to that. We also have got some tickets to give away Journey and Def Leppard tickets to give away. So at some point throughout the show, we'll do that. And again, more on Ohtani next on 101 ESPN.
I know we didn't stand a chance to get Shohei Ohtani, but Yamamoto checks all the boxes, and that gives you a real legitimate chance to win, and he'd be here as a Cardinal for a while. And I'm saying if Bill DeWitt doesn't want to spend the money to build the team, then he just needs to sell them. Thanks.
All right, that's Charles leaving us a mic drop. Appreciate it, Charles. 303, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. So, Jamie, you had brought this topic up to us in the office, and one of the things that you said was, yeah, the Cardinals could do this. They could do their own version of it. It wouldn't be to the extent of what the Dodgers do or the Phillies could do, but they could certainly spend a lot more than they are.
Yeah. ...
But even if they win a World Series, are you winning a World Series and losing money? I don't know. I don't know what the financial aspect of it. I think that would be difficult to do because you're talking about all that gate revenue that you'd have. But spending doesn't always equate to winning.
No, Anthony.
We know that.
What teams would you bring up if you were going to say that?
Padres and Mets. Currently. But the Yankees have spent for a long time. They haven't won since 09.
The Dodgers last year.
Yeah, true. Well, and the Dodgers.
They still spent money.
True.
Not as much as we thought they're going to spend, but they spent.
The Dodgers and Phillies spent a lot of money to lose to the Diamondbacks. Spent a ton of money to lose to Arizona.
What about the Rangers?
The Rangers are the opposite of that. The Rangers are the counter. The Rangers did spend a bunch of money, and they did win it all.
Well, only one team can win the World Series. So if you have multiple teams spending X amount of dollars, obviously only one team can win. It would be different if a team like the Diamondbacks or, let's say, a team that doesn't spend money won the World Series. Then if you're a Cardinal fan, or if you're not a Cardinal fan, but if you're part of the front office, you could say, okay, hey, look at that team. They didn't spend a ton of money and they won in this modern day of baseball. We're not in the early 2000s. Money's different. Like, it just doesn't work like that anymore. Like, I feel like you do have to spend a little bit of money to win, but I think it also comes down to the organizations. The Padres, they have never been a well-run organization, in my opinion. So, yes, they went and spent money, but they don't have that blueprint, that foundation of culture to win. The Mets, same thing. Yeah, they went to the World Series in, 2015? But what have they done? Again, another team that doesn't have that foundation. The Dodgers can spend money, and they will be successful because they have been successful already for the past 15 years.
So, Marsh, you and I are saying the same thing, but much differently. You're using, the spending as almost this. The Cardinals are like they've got this excuse not to spend, yet the Rangers spent, look what they did with it, or the Dodgers have spent, look what they've done with it, the Phillies, all that. I'm saying exactly what you just said, but in a much different way. I don't care about the spending. Neither do you. Neither is Jamie. Neither are the Cardinals fans. You don't. You don't care about the spending. You care about the winning. And that's much different. But we're in the offseason, and you can't tabulate wins and losses right now. You just know that the Dodgers spent $700 million on one player. You spent a ton of money on three guys that are in their 30s, and you're ticked off. It's about winning. I don't care how they do it. I really don't. You're right, Marsh. The Rangers spent, the Dodgers spent, the Phillies spent, and you do have to spend X amount to put together a good roster on paper. What I'm saying is, whether you spend or not, and this is to your point too, whether you spend or not, do it wisely. Don't just do it to fill a roster out.
For sure.
Which is what the Cardinals have been doing. I do not care if they don't spend. I don't. I care about them winning. And they haven't been winning because they haven't been doing it wisely, whether that's spending or looking at opportunities in the international market or whatever. I think they've drafted better, but they've made bonehead decisions when it comes to trades. And now they don't have the pitching to accompany guys like Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman and Mason Wynn and some of these other guys that they got through the draft, or to complement Arenado and Goldschmidt. I do not care if the Cardinals spend. I care if they win.
Okay, so Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Anthony, I'm going to direct this at you because literally this was directed at you.
All right.
From the 980. Anthony, spending may not always equate to winning a championship, but spending does equate to trying to win a championship. And a fan base is not going to be mad if you try and they see that you're all in on trying to win. You think the Padres fan base is upset that their owner went all in and didn't win?
Yeah. I think they're ticked off.
I bring this up for a specific reason, Anthony.
Are they ticked off at the ownership, or are they ticked off at the players for not playing good?
Here's the problem with that text. With all due respect, it is a moving target. It's convenient. So are the Padres fans ticked off? Yeah. It's a moving target. Well, they didn't spend on the right guys.
Is the Padres, would you consider it all in or easy way out?
I think it's trying to shortcut I think they tried to use a shortcut.
Because I think that spending frivolously like that sometimes is the easy way out. Because there's a fan base, part of the fan base or a percentage of the fan base that says, they're all in. They're going for it.
Mm-hmm.
They're spending way more than they make.
Right.
They had to take out another $50 million just to get payroll. That's how much they want to win.
This front office is stupid. They don't know how to build a competitive team.
I think it's the easy way out. Writing a check is easy.
Correct.
Building a winner is difficult.
Yes. And I don't think the Cardinals, by the way, have done either.
Well, and that's why, because they haven't spent, you look at the way that they've developed players and what they've been doing right now, not spending, a lot of money. Yeah, they're spending and they're forking out money to guys like Mike Leake, and obviously that didn't work out. Mm-hmm. Dexter Fowler, like those are bonehead transactions, right?
That, by the way, hold on. Let's go back to Fowler.
Oh, Anthony loves this one.
If you're being honest, and maybe to the texter that just texted me directly,
Anthony, you needed a center fielder.
And they spend money on him because he hit a home run in Game 7 for the Cubs.
That signing was praised because some fans looked at that as what? The team was trying. They were trying. I don't care if they're trying. I want them to do it wisely. Fowler was playing at the wall at Wrigley because the Cubs knew he wasn't a center fielder. He wasn't a good defenseman. They knew it. They played his ass at the wall. And the Cardinals said, take my money. We'll give you an extra year on top of it. And there's a lot of fans, not all of you, there's a lot of fans that were golf clapping that thing. Our team's trying. I don't want them to try. I want them to be smart. You don't have to spend in order to be smart. The two things they're not mutually exclusive.
That's the part that I think gets confusing, Anthony, and it's the age-old discussion that there is no answer to.
It's an easy thing for Jamie and I and Marcia come on the field. And Marcia, I feel like you and I are kind of opposite on this one. But I've been having the same damn conversation for 10 years now. I've been on the radio for 10 years in St. Louis. Same conversation every year. They don't spend. They don't spend. They don't spend. We're missing it. We're missing it. It's about spending wisely, not spending.
They don't spend on what I would consider layups. This guy, like Max Scherzer, for instance, layup.
Was that a layup for the Mets?
This was that 10 years. There's a 5 to 10 year difference.
No, but I'm just saying the Mets gave him astronomical money, and if the Cardinals had given Scherzer that money, would you consider we're all in, even though we're still losing?
Max Scherzer, back before he signed with the Nationals, in which he won a World Series with that team.
Okay, but that's hindsight, Marshy. I'm talking about like right now.
I don't care about Max Scherzer now. I'm talking about back then. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at what they've done previously. It has not worked. So. And they've missed on what I would consider layups. You mentioned, Dexter Fowler, right? That's not a layup. Why? Because the guy hit a home run in Game 7 of the 2016 World Series. Oh, yeah, let's give him the money.
Right.
Oh, he's a World Series center fielder. That's not a layup.
Who would be a layup this year, then?
This year?
That's attainable.
Ohtani. Oh, attainable. Never mind.
Yeah. Because that's a whole nother conversation, right?
I mean, I think this Yamamoto kid is somewhat of a layup.
And if he doesn't want to play her?
Well, then he doesn't.
So is he?
But that's good. But that's going to be part of the conversation.
Is he 300 million?
Are the Cardinals in the conversation?
Is he 300 million for you?
What?
Is he 300 million for you?
For me? For what? What would it be? 7 years? This team doesn't have an ace. They're trying to get back.
I don't know.
I'd give them money.
To play devil's advocate too, is he a layup? You've never seen him throw a pitch in Major League Baseball.
He's never, yeah.
Okay. I mean, Ohtani never played in Major League Baseball.
True.
He turned out to be pretty good.
But how many?
$300 million.
Adolis Garcia, or not Adolis Garcia. The fella in Chicago.
Luis
Robert. That's another example. We don't know what he is. So he's a hell of a player.
But how many of those guys have signed contracts and never amounted to anything?
That's fair. But sometimes you got to take the risk. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting where you're at right now.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. This is a good conversation today. We'll continue it. So I had said Jamie was fired up about the Mahomes situation. I think that Kadarius Toney lining up offsides completely mask how bad the Bills blundered that game too and got away with it. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Do you have a vision in remodeling your kitchen or your bathroom? Maybe you're not sure who to go to. I wasn't sure. And then someone told me about E&B Granite. I went down there. I went down to 6135 Manchester Avenue, walked in, and the sales representative greeted me right away, asked me, hey, what are you trying to do? For me, it was a kitchen, but I didn't know what was going on. I mean, I didn't know it was trendy or what I should be doing. So she gave me some great ideas, showed me different cabinets, different ways to set up the kitchen. And then when it came to countertops, she took me to the area where they have all the slabs available. There's granite, there's quartz, there's marble, even soapstone. And you get to see the full countertop. You get to see the pattern and what it looks like. And then we talked about backsplashes. We ended up doing something really, really cool in my kitchen, and none of it would have been possible without E&B Granite. They do an incredible job. So please, when you get down there, let them know that Jamie Rivers sent you in. That way they know that they're doing a great job. And you can call ahead, too, and book an appointment. It's easy. Call 314-645-9300. That's 314-645-9300. Or you can visit them at enbgranite.com.
Fastline on 101 ESPN. So, Jamie, we were talking about the Kadarius Toney lining up off sides. Again, not even a conversation. He lined up off sides. End of discussion. But I do think that Mahomes was projecting all his frustrations. And I mentioned a comedian. Don't say the name. I mentioned a comedian in relation to Mahomes.
How's your problem?
And if you want some Def Leppard tickets and you know the answer to the trivia question, you can text in now. 101 ESPN, that's us. We have a chance to score a pair of tickets to see Def Leppard and Journey with Cheap Trick on July 6th at Busch Stadium.
Wait, who's in this one?
It's Def Leppard,
yeah,
Journey, and Cheap Trick.
Wow, I'm going.
Jamie's in.
I know the answer to this. I'm going to text it right now.
You can, but I'm pretty sure Ryder knows your phone number.
I changed it.
Tickets for Def Leppard Journey, Cheap Trick at Busch it goes on sale. The tickets go on sale this Friday, December 15th. Or you can text in now to 314-399-9646 for your chance to win free tickets to the show just by knowing the correct answer to the trivia question, which is I mentioned a comedian and I related it to Patrick Mahomes projecting his anger, not at the NFL, but it's something else, i.e. his frustrations toward his receivers and his team right now. What comedian did I reference? If you know the answer, 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Going to be the 101st texter with the correct answer. And you can also find a bonus chance to register to win tickets to Def Leppard and Journey at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 ESPN mobile app.
Brr, it's cold out.
Jamie, I also think the Kadarius Toney situation has masked how bad the Bills botched the end of the game. They got to win.
Explain, because I was loosely watching the game.
Okay.
Like, it was on, had a bunch of other crap going on, and I'm certainly paying attention because it's close, and then I'm seeing the play.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, oh, my. So explain.
No problem.
Please.
So we're talking about game management. When you either have the lead or you are in field goal position, which is what the Bills were in last night, right around the 2-minute warning, you have two objectives: score and make sure you leave the team with no timeouts or as few timeouts as possible and as less of the clock as possible.
Especially with a guy named Patrick Mahomes.
Especially when Patrick Mahomes only needed 13 seconds to beat you a couple of years ago. Correct. Same team, same stadium, same everything. You would think that Sean McDermott would know that. This is what the Bills did on first down from Kansas City's 22-yard line with 2:12 left. They threw a pass. They threw a pass to Stephon Diggs. Now, apparently it was a run-pass optional. Just run the ball. Just turn around, hand the ball off to James Cook.
Why would you do that, Anthony?
Well, Jamie, because if Andy Reid decides to use one of his timeouts, that's stupid.
And he'd use a timeout because the clock keeps going.
Yes. So if
there's
Reid,
a run play.
Right. If Reid uses a timeout there, let's just say there's 2:05, 2:06 left on the clock. NFL play lasts about 6 seconds. He calls a timeout after the run. He burned his timeout, but he also gives you an opportunity to throw because it's 2-minute warnings coming up.
True.
So he's using Reid would use that 2-minute warning anyways. So now you can throw. Incomplete pass doesn't really matter. The 2-minute the clock was going to stop at the 2-minute warning. Instead, they throw. So now Andy Reid can keep one of his timeouts. I think he had 2 at the time. He kept both. 2nd down and 10. Josh Allen throws an incomplete pass again to Stephon Diggs. Now it's 3rd down and 10, 2:06 left. Kansas City's not had to use any of their timeouts. Again, Mahomes is on the other side.
Yeah, it seems stupid.
2:06. There it is.
Oh, there's Patrick.
2:06, 3rd and 10. Josh Allen, short pass left to Dalton Knox. It's completed. But guess what? 2-minute warning. You gave the ball back to the Chiefs and Mahomes with a minute 54 left and 2 timeouts. In most situations, when somebody lines up correctly, you're going to lose that game if Mahomes is on the other side.
True.
The Bills should have lost that game. Had they lost that game, all we're talking about is that moment. So the Bills, even though they won and they're 7-6, that was horrendous clock management.
Anthony, how come there's so many coaches in the NFL that just lose themselves in that moment? Because we've had this discussion before about hiring a clock management guy. Yeah. Just a guy that at any point can push the button and be in the ear. Mm-hmm. Be like, run the ball, run the clock,
right.
Time out here.
That's supposed to be him.
I know, but I can understand how things get overwhelming. Mm-hmm. There's a lot going on. You want players on and off the field, and you're trying to manage. And depending on the coach, some of the coaches are involved in the play calling and all this stuff. And so, I mean, if nothing else, I know they have the resource to hire one guy who's an expert and just
clock manager.
This is what the book says.
Right.
Here's our rules. Because in training camp, we made this set of rules of our 2-minute warning or 2-minute drill, offensively and defensively.
And two, you do. These guys are like sleeping at the facilities all the time.
Yeah.
You're telling me that you're sleeping there, you're doing all this work. You don't know that what Andy Reid's tendencies are around the 2-minute warning? Study, take pride in it. This is one of the reasons. I had Tom Brady and all that, but this is one of the reasons why Belichick was always like taking candy from a baby. He knew these situations. And one thing they always practice, the details, the rules. You would have never seen Julian Edelman or Wes Welker or Danny Amendola or whoever line up off sides in that spot because they practice it. They make sure.
Bill may have called a timeout in that moment.
Absolutely. Fine details. Sean McDermott, if you don't have a guy like that, then you take pride in it. Understanding what it is.
It just seems crazy to me. It's the NFL, which is the greatest football league by far, and you have all of these people on payroll. I mean, you name it. Every position has a position-specific coach, a position-specific assistant coach, other guys who just watch video, other guys who do and you can't manage the damn clock properly.
Right. But we see it every year. Man. To your point.
It's because they're all coordinators.
Yes,
for the most part. Like yesterday, I'll bring up the Vikings game, which was the worst game in football history.
A lot of offense there.
Big defensive effort.
They call a timeout late in that game. They're in Raider territory. Call a timeout. Next play, delay of game. How on earth does that happen?
It can't happen.
How does that is that on the players? I think it's on the coaching. It's on the coaching. Get your play in.
Yes.
Like, what are you doing? The way that some of these coaches go about the final 2 minutes of either half, because we see it a lot in the first half, and I don't think we talk about it enough because there's still a lot of game to play.
Right.
But there are, like, last night, for instance, I'm watching the Eagles game. They have 20 seconds, and they're about, I think they're at the 25-yard line. They have 20 seconds and 3 timeouts. First, instead of trying to get in field goal range with Jake Elliott, who's a pretty good kicker, and instead of the game being 24-6, it'd be 24-9, and then you have the ball in the second half. You get the ball back, and then if you score, you're only down like a touchdown. You're only down 1 score, right? Instead of trying to just get some points, they run the ball, and then they just who cares? Right. Why do you have your 3 timeouts then? Like, what are you doing? Like, try and get points.
Well, Shanahan did that too. I was shocked. Kyle Shanahan left like 50 seconds on the clock by allowing who they play yesterday.
They played the Seahawks.
They allowed the Seahawks to just run clock. I mean, they had a minute left with that offense. Shanahan did it too. Had a bunch of timeouts. I was shocked by that. Maybe there's a specific reason for that. Shanahan's a smart guy, but to Jamie's overall point, you see this every week in the NFL now.
Do you think it's because some of these coaches are they're not risky enough? Like they want to limit the turnovers because if we try and run down the field here real quick and get some points, we might turn the ball over. And then, do you think they're trying to avoid that?
First, let me say, I don't know. I'm not in these meetings, obviously. I don't have the honor, I don't have the pleasure to be in these meetings. But
You're not sleeping at the field.
I'm not sleeping at the facility,
But you would, Anthony.
I damn right I would, Jamie.
Yeah.
But Jamie, it goes back to what, actually, you said it. All these guys are coordinators. Shanahan, coordinator. All these guys are coordinators.
Why don't you get a clock coordinator?
Why don't you get a clock coordinator? Or why don't you put the time in if you're a head coach?
Get a college kid.
Sean McDermott does, especially if you're a defensive guy, you're not calling the plays. You don't know the clock. You don't know clock management. You don't know game theory. Holy smokes!
Quite honestly, it's embarrassing.
It is, absolutely. It's just as embarrassing as the Kadarius Toney situation, but we ain't talking about that because the Bills won. All right, Jamie brought up a really interesting point. Are we looking at the wrong players for the lack of offense for the Blues? Jamie's got an interesting nugget next on 101 ESPN. always enjoy going down to the West Clubhouse of the Missouri Athletic Club. Not that I don't frequent the downtown spot, but the downtown location, a lot of times I go for events at the MAC, or we have a live broadcast down there. They always do it well. But the West Clubhouse, man, that's a perfect spot for me to get my workout in, shower up, prep for the show. I've done various, use the business center at the Missouri Athletic Club for various reasons. But then I always make sure that I stop by, look at what they have when it comes to like their billboards and what events they have coming up. Holiday time, they always do great stuff for the kids and family members. They always got different, brunches and events going on at both clubhouses. Great spot. It's my MAC. It's Missouri Athletic Club.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues are back in action tomorrow night, taking on the Detroit Red Wings. Pregame starts at 5:30. Puck drop is at 6:30, and you can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. The Blues are in they're not playing too hot right now. We're going to get into what went wrong and what are we looking at the wrong players when it comes to a lack of offense. So we'll dive into that next. Tonight we have Monday Night Football, Titans and Dolphins, with the kickoff at 7:15. So stay tuned for that. If you missed any segment today or any conversation that we've had, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. This Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, independent American standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Jamie, we're always looking at certain aspects of a hockey team, Blues specifically, where you say, "Oh, the scoring is down here." Maybe it's more accurate to say you need more from this group or this line or these players. And typically, it's always Kyrou, right? Like Kyrou and Thomas.
Well, there's a few.
Yeah,
a few that you think of.
Are we looking at the wrong group of players though? When it comes to the lack of offense.
Here's something that I put together over the weekend and kind of finalized it last night because math eludes me sometimes. But I figured it out.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
It elude.
Good point. So when you look at guys that you might think are underperforming from a goal scoring, not points, goal scoring, you'd think of Kyrou with 5 goals only. Sure. Now, Jordan Kyrou also is 3rd in the NHL on rush chances. The goals are going to come for Jordan Kyrou. They're not going in right now, but they will come. But he's only got 5 goals so far this year. Kevin Hayes only has 6 goals. And if you go down further, Brandon Saad only has 5 goals. So you'd be like, well, those 3 guys there, they got to score more. Your biggest problem, your biggest deficiency has not been those guys. They're part of it. I don't mean like problem. They wish they could be scoring more too. Okay, I understand that. But in crunching some numbers, Anthony, here's what I'm going to tell you right now. There's 3 players not named Kyrou, Saad, or Hayes. And here, last year, in a combined 74 games, these 3 players that I'm talking about had 27 goals. In a combined 71 games so far this year, these 3 players have 6 goals.
Woof. The difference, Jamie.
Do you know who those 3 players are?
They had 26 goals last year.
27 goals in 74 combined games. And in 71 combined games this year, they have 6.
I would say Kapanen has to be one of those players. Kapanen, trying to think who had kind of big-time performance last year.
Short term, though, too, because 74 combined games.
Vrana? Kapanen, Vrana, and Blais.
Sammy Blais.
So the three guys that came in and made a huge impact.
That's right. So last year, in their 74 combined games, with each of them coming in at their own time, in and around the same time and whatnot, they had 27 goals between them.
Well, this goes to what the texters have been screaming at you for. They got to give Vrana an opportunity, Jamie.
Yeah, well, Vrana's had quite an opportunity. Let's just agree to that. But this year, so again, to my point then, in this year, 71 combined games, 6 goals for the trio. So a couple things to me jump off the page there. One, I think Kasperi Kapanen is a hell of a player. I really do. Do I think he's an offensive juggernaut? No, I don't think he is. But I really like him as a player. He's fast. He can kill penalties. He's gritty along the wall. He's a great teammate. I know that only counts for a portion of it, but it is a sliver of the pie if you're taking like what makes a really good player. I think he will find the net eventually on a more regular basis. But I like Kasperi Kapanen, and I feel like he still brings something to the table for me on a nightly basis, even if he's not scoring in bunches.
Yeah.
Sammy Blais last year, this is a tough one to break down because as a junior player, we know he liked to score goals. Then when he made his jump to the NHL as a regular guy, a regular player, everyday player, he turned into a 4th liner He ran around, hit absolutely everything that moved, and I mean crushed guys. Scored the odd goal, and you're like, woof, he can still score. Went to the Rangers, didn't score. Injury riddled, totally get it. Came back to the Blues, scored. Like, you're like, oh my, who's this guy? Went to the World Championships with Team Canada, scored. So much so that when he came out of training camp, he had secured a spot on the third line on the second power play unit. So now what has happened so far this season? Is it opportunity? Is it, execution? Is it both of those things? Maybe. I think that with lack of scoring and lack of scoring opportunities, I think the opportunity didn't just disappear. It started to get less and less because you need guys that can put the puck in the net.
Yeah.
So I think that Sammy Blais has now found himself back in a role as a fourth liner where he is still effective, though. He runs around, he hits guys, he stirs up all the crap. Like, I'm okay with Sammy Blais in my lineup. The one that falls into the category of I'm just not sure is the guy that's been the hot topic all day is Jakub Vrana. Came in last year in non-meaningful games and scored. Gave you some offense, gave you some electricity. But he also did that at a time where it didn't matter if you turned the puck over. Oh, we lost. We're supposed to lose. We're in a retool. And then Craig Berube today was quoted, and I'm going to pull this up from our guy, Sweet Lou Korak, who had... Sweet Lou! He had a quote from Craig Berube on Jakub Vrana. He goes, and this is Chief, says, you can't look at that from last year to this year. It's 2 different years. Coming in when he came in last year, there's nothing to lose. You just go play. He scored some goals and did some good things. This year, it's been a struggle. He's not wrong. And if you go back, if you're an honest Blues hockey fan, if you're honest with yourself and you love the sport of hockey and you love your Blues, go do something crazy like I do from time to time. Go back on NHL.com and go watch a game from the past. Go watch 4 or 5 different games. Because that's what psychopaths like me do. Before I speak and just run my mouth, I go back and make damn sure that what I'm seeing is actually what's happening. Apart from 2 games this season, watch Jakub Vrana. There's one period, because this is how I am, Anthony. There's one period where out of the entire 20 minutes of play, he took 12 strides.
That's not enough.
12. Anthony, 12. In one shift, Robert Thomas takes 20. In one period, he had 12 strides. And then board battles. You go back to the last 5 games. Any loose puck battle, he's operating at 5%. I did the math. 5% winning puck battles. And those are on 50-50 or 60-40 pucks, even advantageous pucks.
So not one said he's destined to lose because it's just a bad spot. We're talking about advantageous spots. He's 5%.
And some of them he just lets it go. Like the other night in Chicago, I even said it on the broadcast, I go, I don't know if he's worried about getting hit because he just lets the guy go, lets the puck go, and he's like, meh.
How do you get the 5%? Accident?
No, there's maybe. No, he had a couple of plays. Listen, he's still an NHL caliber player, and I know that some people are going to agree with me, and some people are going to hate the fact that what I'm saying because they believe in what they saw last year. If what last year happened was true, he'd still be a Detroit Red Wing. If it was true, he'd still be a Washington Capital. He would be sought after. They'd be lined up out the door right now trying to trade for Jakub Vrana.
Yeah. There's a reason that you just got to...
The league will tell you what's going on if you just sit back and listen to the league.
That's a great point.
Yeah, if you're watching the game and you go back, I don't know if we'll see him play another game with the Blues, but if you do go back and watch, he is not that guy in the corner fighting for the puck. He's the guy that's standing right outside of that board battle, reaching and trying to quote unquote dig the puck out.
Eyewash.
And then it squirts loose, and then he's never the F1 or F2, even if he's supposed to be.
No.
And he's waiting on the wrong side. So let's go back to Columbus. Chicago. In Chicago in the first period, he was cheating on the offensive side, and the puck kicked out to his defenseman, who walked right in and buried it.
Not great.
He just got scratched for 2 in a row. Or 3 in a row before that.
Yeah, they're not doing this on it. The coaching staff isn't coming to that conclusion on accident.
Do you think the Blues, when it comes to depth, do you think that, and we started this conversation with Sammy Blais and Kapanen, do we think that the Blues don't have enough depth outside of their starting lineup to push these guys out of the lineup?
It's an interesting question.
You bring up Hugh McGing, but Hugh McGing is not going to light up the world.
No, but Hugh McGing, what he's going to do is give you every ounce of everything that he is as a player, every single time. And this is why I talk about Blais and Kapanen, where I'm like, I'm okay. And somebody put on here, I can't find it now, said, oh, yeah, it's easy to blame Blais, Kapanen, and Vrana. I'm not blaming them. I am not blaming. I just told you that 2 of those guys I love in my lineup. I love them in my lineup. I'm not blaming them. Numbers are just fact. The numbers don't lie that in almost the exact same amount of games played, they're 21 goals shy of what they did last year.
Yeah.
So what do you want from me? And then another one here from the 980 says, hey, Jamie, how does the Blues' $8 million man in Jordan Kyrou have 1 goal he has in every game so far, blah, blah, blah. And Vrana has 2 goals and he has to play far less. What's the deal with $8 million man? $8 million man had a point a game last year and the year before. He did.
Yeah.
That's how he got his $8 million.
Right.
And he's still, this season, if you pull up the Blues stats, Jordan Kyrou is 3rd in scoring on your team with 17 points in 27 games. And he's been snake bitten. Mm-hmm. If you add 3 more goals to that, which he should easily have, he's got 20 points in 27 games. He's going to eventually fall into the category of almost a point a game like he did last year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fair to criticize Jordan Kyrou, but that doesn't mean you can't diminish what Jakub Vrana is not doing on the ice.
Yeah, you could be objective on all players.
Yeah, for sure. But, Jamie is simply laying it out how he sees it, and that's what it is.
That's Andrew Marsh. That's Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Speaking of Jamie, he, among other things, Jamie is synonymous for his smoke and mirrors takes.
They're dead on.
He started to question his smoke and mirror take on one NFL team, though. We'll tell you who that is next on 101 ESPN.
Listen up here, folks. We are now in December and just a couple of weeks away from all the holidays, including Christmas. Take care of your holiday shopping with a gift that your family will absolutely love. And it won't just be for this year. It will be for years to come so that your family and family members can enjoy something very special. And that something special comes from mysoundstory.com. Sound Story is a professionally produced hour-long conversation in which you or one of your loved ones is interviewed by your choice of our professional interviewers, which include Tim McKernan, Randy Carricker, and Anthony Stalter. All it is a conversation that includes their experiences, whether it's growing up as a child, where they went to school, high school, college, their career, meeting that special someone. All of that is saved for you, digitally saved. And Sound Story has that for you guys for the rest of your lives. And it's fantastic. Your kids, your grandkids, they'll always be able to hear the amazing stories from family members because Sound Story takes care of that. And right now, Sound Story has a special offer for you. All you have to do is go to mysoundstory.com, enter promo code ESPN to get this holiday special of 20% off a gift card for Sound Story. That's promo code ESPN at mysoundstory.com. Sound Story, for you, for them, forever.
So Jamie is synonymous for a lot of things, a lot of different things. But one of the things that he's synonymous for is his takes on certain teams. It's usually in the NFL, but I feel like you span to other areas too in sports.
It's mostly the NFL.
Mostly NFL. Yeah. You like to have your smoke and mirror teams.
And I have been dead on.
I'll tell you what, the one year that the 49ers were playing well, and you kept calling them smoke and mirrors every single week, you wound up being right.
Yeah.
As Jimmy G and the 49ers fell short in the Super Bowl.
Couldn't get it done. Smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors. So, Jamie, you've been calling one team smoke and mirrors, but you had mentioned in one of the, as my mic moves on its own, one of the breaks you had mentioned, you're like, maybe I got the smoke and mirrors team wrong.
Maybe the smoke and the mirrors are in the wrong stadium.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to eat some crow here, Anthony.
All right, so go for it.
So I've been saying for at least the last 4 to 5 weeks that the Cowboys are smoke and mirrors. I've been saying that Dak Prescott is smoke and mirrors. He's running up big numbers on crappy teams. Boy, oh boy, did Dak and the Cowboys stuff it home on me. My goodness.
They looked strong.
Too very strong. Yes, they did.
Real quick, by the way.
I don't think they're smoke and mirrors.
No, they're not. The NFL Pick'em Challenge, by the way, I only bring this up because I was surprised. Most of our team was on the Eagles. I took the Cowboys last night. Marsh, did you take the boys?
I did, yeah.
Maybe you and I were the only ones that took the boys last night. We tied, which is essentially a win for us against the Rizzuto show, so we won. We won the season-long
You're ready to declare
prize.
that right now?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I wait because knowing the Rizzuto show, they've got some kind of lie, some kind of cheat, some kind of scam.
Yeah, that they'll blame us for. No, they're cheating when they're the ones cheating.
No, it's going to be, well, they're supposed to win. They're the sports radio station.
They've got
they're
that.
supposed to win.
They've got that ready to go at any point. Yeah.
Meanwhile, nobody takes it more serious than Moon.
Right.
Moon is like calling NFL scouts, asking for their opinion because, he wants to win.
I know what it might be. Oh, they can't win on a tie. No, you can't win on a tie.
Hey, you know what?
It's like you got to win by 2.
We're going to win by more than 2.
Yeah, you got to win by 2.
If the Rizzuto show has any issues, they can find a mirror and look in the mirror. 1, make better picks.
Or
2,
stand in a room and look at each other.
Either way,
it's all of their fault.
Or 2, understand. And I got crap for it from my own team, which I respect your thoughts on that. But you guys complained, not you guys, but the Rizzuto show complained a year ago that, that's just a tie. It's just a tie. When we wanted to have a tiebreaker. It's just a tie. That's it. So the fact that we don't have a tiebreaker, that's on them. The fact that... thought that was reserved for Mahomes today. Apparently not. I like it, Marsh. Not being able to change the Monday night pick. Again, that's a Rizzuto show. They complained about that. I agreed to it, despite your guys' objections to it.
You hate to see it.
They could have been changing the Monday night picks. Nope, sorry. Lock that down. So, I don't want to hear it. We won. And that show is going to be brought to you by the Fast Lane for a whole month.
Oh, there are going to be a whole lot of things brought by the Fast Lane for that show.
Big time. Anyways, so the Cowboys, right? I was surprised that plenty of people were on the Eagles last night. I thought it was a perfect spot for the boys. That passing attack for Dallas is legit.
Yeah, that defense.
And we already got a text from a 314 saying, you guys are crapping on the Cowboys. I don't know what you've heard me say outside of Mike McCarthy deserves more credit for what he's done with Dak. I can't say it enough. I've not crapped on your Cowboys team.
I have.
You have. Marsh and Jamie just admitted he has.
Well, I wanted them to lose, even though I picked them.
Yeah, you did.
I had some guy with a Cowboys sticker almost run me off the road yesterday.
Probably one of our texters. So Marsh was all about the Cowboys. That team's legit, depending on who they play. I think if they line up against any team in the NFC, save for San Francisco, they're going to make a run.
Cowboys?
Yes. That's a bad matchup for that's a really bad matchup for Philly, as we saw last night.
Who's their first playoff game?
Well, right now it would be Tampa. In Tampa.
Shaky
a rematch.
Why would it be in Tampa if the Cowboys win the division?
Because the Buccaneers are about to win the South.
Yeah, but...
Oh, no, Dallas wins the division. No, then Dallas would be...
they would face, I think, Minnesota.
Probably the Vikings.
Yeah.
So no offense to Marsh's Vikings, but they would beat Minnesota.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It'd be Green Bay. As of right now, it'd be Green Bay.
Yes.
Because Dallas would play Green Bay.
Ooh, that'd be a good game.
In Dallas.
No, it wouldn't be.
Dallas. I like Dallas over every team except for San Francisco in the NFC.
Dallas,
including the Lions, who are hell-bent on having this magical season come to an end early.
Other than, hey.
I don't know what you do to that, Mike, Anthony.
Wow.
But, man, does it go up in a hurry?
Some Lions fan who has long passed now was just went over and hit my mic and punched me right in the mouth.
We were talking about smoke and mirrors.
I respect it.
Oh, stop. Stop.
They should have lost the last 4 games.
Oh, stop.
That was ugly yesterday.
That was terrible. What the hell's going on?
Dude,
that offense. So let me just tell you something.
It's golf.
Let me describe my viewing experience of the Lions yesterday.
Yeah.
The game was on at the gym. Did the big ass TV, and I'm like, this is great. I'm gonna do some cardio, get my team, and then I go back to the weights. It's on there too. Awesome. Every time I would do a set, and I would get up, and the ball was back in the Bears' hands,
and Fields was running.
I'm not lying.
Yeah.
The Lions would get the ball back, and I'd be like, okay, hang on, and I'd pull, turn around, and the Bears had the ball back again. Mm-hmm. That's how awful the Lions' offense was.
Yes.
3 and out, turnover, 3 and out.
Marsh is right. They should have lost the Bears game in Detroit. I wouldn't say they should have lost last week to New Orleans, but New Orleans made it a game when they shouldn't have.
I mean, they should have lost. You had a 21-0 lead. It was a 1-score game.
Hey, blown leads happen in the NFL all the time, Marsh. Okay, let's not criticize Detroit. Some even happened, late in games. A lot of times.
Oh, wait.
Gauntlet next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Falcons lost yesterday.
Oh, again.
If you're looking to save money on your car and your home insurance, please call Tracy Bibb with the Bibb Agency. They work alongside Allstate Insurance. And one thing I can guarantee you is that with Allstate and Tracy Bibb, you're going to get that personal attention from your agent that you just don't get anywhere else. And what I mean by that is your current situation probably has a 1-800 number. I know this because that's the way it used to be for me. And then whenever something happens, it's so stressful because you have to call a complete stranger who doesn't know anything about what you have as far as coverage or anything to do with who in your family might be on the insurance plan. It's awful. There's anxiety, there's stress. Take that out of your life. Give Tracy Bibb and the Bibb Agency an opportunity to, one, get you a great rate and give you the proper coverage, and then give you the family treatment. That's right. Once you're part of the Bibb Agency, it's like you're part of their family, and they take great care of you, and they walk you through all the processes. They make it so easy, so simple. Please give them a call for a free non-committal quote, and it's easy to just call 314-328-4260. That's 314-328-4260. It's no fib. You're in good hands. Tracy Bibb.
The Gauntlet.
Brought to you by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit masstour.com.
403, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsham, Anthony Stalter. We welcome back Kevin, who beat BT, / Jamie, last Friday.
No, I didn't endorse that.
BT filling in for Jamie.
I would have pumped Kevin.
Sorry, Jamie, you won't have your opportunity, not this time. Kevin will be back right now to take on Andrew Marsh or me. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, how's it going today, guys?
Doing great. Would you like to take on Marsh or me in round 2 today?
So today, I think I'm going to go ahead and go against Marshy.
All right, Marsh is up this time around. Marsh just gave me...
Oh, Anthony's electrocuting himself.
This mic
again.
is jacked up, man.
Yeah, you're always messing with it.
It's probably fine for Randy and McKernan and BK.
It's because you're electric.
Thanks, Jamie. Really means a lot, especially knowing that you mean it. All right, Kevin, tell Marsh to spin the wheel. Marsh will get out of here.
Spin that wheel, Marshy.
All right, Kevin, I think I asked you this question last week, but what are you hoping for?
Really anything but hockey.
Anything but hockey. All right.
Well, Anthony... You got a lot of different things.
Yeah, so no hockey. That's the good news. How do you feel about random?
Random, I'm okay with, I guess.
We're going to find out, right, Kev?
Find out is right. Yeah, that was football. That was football you beat BT in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What? That's my favorite category.
That's the one you get the most.
I know.
All right, random trivia today. 4 questions. Go to Kevin, same 4 questions. Go to Marsh. Each question is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, it's worth 1 point. What are you laughing at, Jamie?
You'll see.
Okay.
I love watching you with some of these questions.
Oh, yeah, I'd script the names constantly. All right, here we go. Kevin, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Name the puppeteer who creates Pinocchio out of wood.
Geppetto. Final answer.
Did you think I was going to struggle with that one?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right.
I think that's Italian. I'd be fine with that one.
Yeah. All right, question 2, Kev. Before he became the Terminator or served as the governor of California, where was Arnold Schwarzenegger born? What country?
Austria. Final answer.
Question number 3, Kevin. According to scientists, what is the most common name for a group of dolphins? According to scientists, what is the most common name for a group of dolphins?
I have an idea, but let me go ahead and get the options.
All right, here's your options. A crew, a manor, or a pod?
I'm gonna say pod. Final answer.
All right, Kevin, final question. In the early 80s, R&B hit Just the Two of Us inspired a rap song of the same name 15 years later. Who performed the updated version?
I'm gonna need the options again.
All right, was it P. Diddy / Sean Puffy Combs, Will Smith, or Eminem?
Let's go with Will Smith.
Final answer?
No. Let's go P. Diddy. Final answer.
P. Diddy. All right.
All right, welcome back, Marsh. How you feeling, Kevin?
Well, I think I had a great start, but I'm not sure about those last 2.
Okay. We'll see how Marsh does here.
These were kind of fun, these ones.
Yeah.
Just going to say that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, Marsh is back from the cone of silence.
Oh, he looks serious, too. Look at that
He does.
Look at that young man. I'm proud of him. He's come so far.
Very serious today.
His haircut looking all clean. Just a smidge of water. Don't overhydrate.
He's got just a little bit
He
left.
literally has enough, just enough to wet the lips.
Yeah. All right, Marsh, your category today is random.
Okay.
Jamie, tell him.
Oh, pack a lunch, buddy.
Question 1, Marsh. Name the puppeteer who creates Pinocchio out of wood. Name the puppeteer that creates Pinocchio out of wood.
Oh, what is his name?
Exactly.
Geppetto. Final answer.
Exactly. That's what we were looking for.
Yeah. Well done. Okay, question 2. Andrew, before he became the Terminator, I had to do that, or served as the governor of California, where was Arnold Schwarzenegger born? What country?
Oh, man. Is he from Austria? I think he's from Austria, but let's use the options.
All right. Is it Austria?
Damn it.
Germany? Or Australia?
Austria. Final answer.
Question 3, Marsh. According to scientists, what is the most common name for a group of dolphins? According to scientists, what is the most common name for a group of dolphins?
I don't know. Smoke and mirrors. I'll take the options.
That's what Jamie would call them.
That's well played.
All right, here are your options. A crew, a manor, or a pod?
A crew, a manor, or a pod? A pod of dolphins, a manor of dolphins. I'm going to go with manor. I could be completely wrong. Actually, I probably am. But let's go with manor. Final answer.
All right, Andrew. Question 4. In the early 80s, R&B hit Just the Two of Us inspired a rap song of the same name 15 years later. Who performed that updated version?
Just the two of us. We can make
it if we try. Just the two of us. You
nice
and
job,
I.
guys.
Just the two.
I have no idea. Options.
Was it P. Diddy / Sean Puffy Combs, Will Smith, or Eminem?
All right. I have no idea. Will Smith. Final answer.
Trying to be a tough dad, but you'd be making me laugh, Jamie. Let's go over these. Kevin versus Marsh. Question 1. Name the puppeteer who creates Pinocchio out of wood. Kevin, you said Geppetto. Marsh, you also said Geppetto. Correct answer is?
It is, in fact, Geppetto.
Neither of you needed the options. Nice job on that. So we've got a 2-2 tie. According to scientists, what is the most common name for a group of dolphins? Kevin, with the options, you said a pod. Marsh, with the options, you said manor. Correct answer is?
It's a pod of dolphins.
Pod. So Kevin goes up by 1 against Marsh.
I am screwed.
The early 80s R&B hit Just the Two of Us inspired a rap song of the same name 15 years later. Who performed that updated version? Kevin, you said Will Smith. Then when we asked you for...
Then
when we asked you for...
My bad.
Come on, Mo. Come on.
My bad.
We asked you for your final answer. You said no. And then went with P. Diddy. Marsh, you took the options. You went Will Smith. Correct answer is...
Will Smith.
Will Smith.
I believe it was for a movie, too, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Part of a movie soundtrack?
Yeah.
I'm going to find out. Go ahead, guys.
I already know where this is going.
It's a line, though. One of the lines in the thing is, trying to be a tough dad, but you'd be making me laugh. Will Smith.
Yeah.
Just get on with the next one.
So we have a tie. Marsh, you don't know anything. Just relax over there. Before he became the Terminator or served as the governor of California, where was Arnold born? You guys both said Austria. Correct answer is?
Austria.
That's right. So we have a winner. Kevin did not need the options. Kevin.
You have chosen wisely.
You were right, Marsh. You knew where I was heading. Mm-hmm. Kevin with a 5-4 win over Marsh. Marsh did not have confidence in himself over that Austria question, and it's the one that basically became his undoing. Kevin, congratulations. You'll take on me tomorrow for an opportunity to win a Gauntlet trophy. Congrats.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Good job, Marsh. I was a little worried there at the end. I wasn't sure what to think. So.
Marsh he's stunned. He's got nothing to say.
Well, actually, my microphone, or not my microphone, my headset just came out of the thing. I literally had no idea what he just said.
It's all right.
You nodded. You're like, he just said nice job. To you.
Oh, well, thank you. Nice job, Kevin.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, Kevin. We'll call you tomorrow. See you, buddy.
All right. See you guys.
So, answer? Did you get it? Was it a soundtrack?
Yeah, it's not part of a soundtrack.
Okay.
I just thought it was.
All right, fair enough.
Should have been, though.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. You knew the answer to the second one there. You thought you knew. You did know. But you didn't have the Huevos Rancheros to just run with it, and it cost you. But it's
Liberty
okay.
Bells.
The Liberty Bells. Yep.
Not there.
Jamie earlier today incited maybe a mini riot among Cardinals fans when he said, hey, listen, you saw Shohei Ohtani, what he was just paid, Cardinals fans. Are you going to embrace the just get in model then? Knowing you can't compete from a spending standpoint. More of your mic drops on that next on 101 ESPN.
Anybody who gets upset about the way the Cardinals spend money just don't understand how it works. This franchise ranks middle of the league in both payroll and revenue. So you got to understand you can't just spend money you don't have, and the team needs to be profitable. Otherwise, they can't put a product on the field at all. So just think about that. And also give thought to the fact that, 7 years from now, we won't be paying $70 million to a guy who might not even be able to pitch or even hit at that point. Who knows what's going to happen to Ohtani? I know it'll look nice for the next couple of years, but later on, people are going to be bumming in L.A. I promise you that, because they won't have any championships to show for it either.
Oh, I like that. That was from Tony. Great mic drop, Tony. I agreed with a lot of what he said. In fact, I agree with basically all of it. Jamie, you've brought this up before. Team's got to be profitable. It wants to be profitable.
Well, they deserve to be. It's a business.
It's a business.
It's just like no matter what we say, no matter how much we are fans, no matter how much we want to win baseball games, at the end of the day, it is a business.
Yes.
Nobody goes into business to lose money.
You're not going to operate like the Dodgers. You can't. You're not going to operate like the Yankees. You can't. You're not going to operate like the Phillies. You can't. So to me, it's not about spending anymore. I'm so sick of the spending conversation. I know how most of you feel. I get it. If the team spends, it equates to trying. I get that. But you can't have it both ways. You can't say you tried on Dexter Fowler. Or I'm sorry, you can't say that you want to see your teams try, and when they spend and it doesn't work out, you say, well, you didn't spend correctly. No, that's always the point.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it comes to you setting your budget at home. How much money do we make? How much money do we want to allocate to certain things? You do this.
You can't let's say you make Y dollars. You can't spend X, which is twice as much as you make, or you're putting yourself out of business.
Sure.
As a family unit.
Or let's say you don't even do that. Let's say you are responsible with your money and you save more than you spend. Okay, great. But what are the things that you're spending your money on? Are you always spending it the correct way?
No, I'm not. Oh, I thought you were talking.
Yeah, I was talking in general. Yeah. But Jamie, thanks for answering that.
Yeah, no.
That I think is more apt with the Cardinals conversation. Are they spending their money the right way? Are they spending it on entertainment, or are they saving it for when they need a major house remodel, or they need a new hot water heater? Are they saving it and spending it wisely, or are they spending it?
Just picturing Mo pinching pennies
on
for
fast
hot water
food,
heater.
right? Not the best example.
No, I know what you're doing. I get it.
But
you were taking everyday life things and
equating it. Yeah. It's a bad analogy.
No, I thought it was fine, Anthony, honestly.
But again, I don't think Tony's right. You're not going to spend $700 million on one player. You're not going to spend $300 million on one player.
So I'm going to go back to the Padres and the Mets and even the Dodgers for that argument's sake of the amount of money those teams spent last year, and none of them won the World Series, and two of them have the same amount of playoff appearances as you did last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yet we're going to equate going for it to the dollar amount spent.
Right.
Whether it was reckless or wisely, whatever, the Mets started to liquidate players. Not because Steve Cohen needed to save money, not because he was trying to limit the damage. Maybe he was trying to limit some of the luxury tax damage to the team. But let's isolate the Padres for a minute. That's a team that if they don't win it this year, they're going to have to fold up.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to suck for 5, 6, 7 years, maybe even longer. They're going to have to. Because they won't be able to afford. They already had to trade Juan Soto.
Mm.
That's one casualty so far. There will be more.
Yes.
And if they don't win next season, there will be a lot more.
Mm.
Because they already had to go tap the door at the bank for a $50 million loan or whatever it was. Can't survive that way. So if you're thinking about your Cardinals and what you equate to going for it is just spending recklessly, what if your Cardinals don't win it? And then what if your team has to suck for 5 or 6 years after?
Yeah.
Does that seem fun? Last year sucked. I hated every minute of it. And the Cardinals weren't even the worst team to watch. Record-wise, they're the worst team in the division, but they weren't the worst team to watch. You still had some players that you could kind of embrace and be like, yeah, I like this guy. I don't care. He's good. Goldie, Arenado, Jordan Walker, Mason Wynn. He still has some things to go see. You don't have much to go see when you have to liquidate.
No. Anybody can look, you can be ticked off at whatever you want to be ticked off at or frustrated with. Jamie, here's what I'm frustrated with. It is not the spending aspect. I'm over it. I never thought that was the best way to build a team anyways. And you brought up the Padres example. You said if they don't win this year, and they won't, they're going to have to liquidate. And then what can they do, right? That's how you kind of phrased it.
Yeah, what now?
What could they do? You know what they would have to do, Jamie? Ironically, draft really well. They'd have to draft really well. They'd have to do it the long way, which I think is the best way to build a sustainable winner. I'm not saying you never spend on free agents. I'm not saying you never make any moves in, when it comes to trades. But those should be the last thing you do once you have the foundation in place. I am not frustrated that the Cardinals are not willing to spend more, whatever more is to you. I am frustrated by them not choosing a clear direction when it comes to building the roster.
Are you still frustrated?
Yes.
What's your biggest frustration? Like who, if you're looking at this roster / rotation, everything, what's your biggest frustration?
It's a total hindsight thing. So let me just admit that.
Okay.
It's absolutely hindsight. What I'm most frustrated by is that they decided at one point to put all their eggs in the offensive basket. This has been a team that has prided itself, going back to Lisa's mic drop, on pitching and defense. And really pitching, defense, and fundamentals. Run prevention and fundamentals. Playing the game the quote-unquote right way. They have always been that way. But because they weren't apt at bringing up some of their position players or making the right trades for position players, they decided that they needed to make a risky move and bring in a guy that was going to hit behind Paul Goldschmidt. And in doing so, in hindsight, again, I'm fully admitting in hindsight, they gave up 2 starters that could be at the top of this rotation right now. Now, with Sandy Alcantara and Zach Gallen pitch as well for the Cardinals as they have for the Diamondbacks and for the Marlins, respectively, we don't know. But that's also the point. We'll never know. If they just said, no, we are about pitching, defense, and fundamentals, I don't think they make that trade. And fans would bitch. They would say, you don't have enough, you don't have the offense. But at least they would have the one thing that has been tried and true in Major League Baseball. If you've got the pitching, Mike, you've got the pitching, you've got a chance.
Okay, so let's remove hindsight.
I got to stop moving this mic.
Yeah, quit playing with it.
Sorry.
Good start. No wonder it goes up all the time.
I
He's
talk
playing
with
it
a lot.
It just fires up. It's got no choice.
Yeah,
See?
Exactly.
Come on.
Yeah.
So let's remove hindsight.
Yes.
Let's talk present. How do you feel about the way things are right now?
I'm frustrated, but I understand why they're doing it.
Why are you frustrated? What are you frustrated with?
I'm frustrated that they don't have good young pitching.
Agree.
That we know of.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree. Now, we still don't know what McGreevy, Graceffo, and Hentz will do at spring training. We don't know what Zach Thompson will do in the offseason. Had a pretty productive year last year. Do I have any of those guys as slotted in? No, I don't. But a year from now, you better have at least 2 of those guys in your rotation. So I'm willing to be patient on those guys for the time being. And I understand. I agree with what you're saying. I wish I had some young pitching, too. I wish there's 2 or 3 guys that you're like, yeah, the old guys are going to have to fight it out, not the young guys. Yeah, that would be a more optimal situation. I don't find myself right now, in the moment, frustrated with the Cardinals. I almost understand the initial direction with this team. Is you got a couple of veteran guys in Gibson and Lance Lynn that, Lance Lynn, you know what you're getting. And it's more than just being on the bump. The clubhouse needed somebody to be a Lance Lynn. They haven't had that. It's been a little bit, in my opinion, only a little bit of a country club. And there were lots of stuff has kind of gone on and nobody said anything and it's just been okay. So let's get Lance Lynn in. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Kyle Gibson, Gibby's supposed to be an incredible guy, great teammate, a leader guy. So I understand it. Sonny Gray, I applaud it. So I'm okay right now with where the Cardinals are. Now, do they have to continue to try and add? Yeah, I would love to see them make a trade. Would love to see another young starting pitcher. Even if he's a number 2 pitcher with the potential of maybe being a number 1 one day. I'd love to see that. Absolutely. But I'm kind of okay for now in what they've done. Now, 25, 30, 40 games in, come and ask me again. It might be like last year where it's a complete disaster. But what if it isn't? So I don't know. I'm kind of okay. Am I wrong? If I am, I'm fine. I'll wear it.
No, I think you're just coming to the understanding of where this team is at, and you just.
I think a lot of these signings have shed a lot of light on things.
You've presented a question for everybody today that I think that you've already answered for yourself, which is that you're kind of embracing they're playing. They've got to play at a different level, money wise and spending wise, and
I think they have to play at more of a level where their good players have to be exactly what they are, and their young players have to not necessarily exceed expectations, but continue to develop at a rapid pace while on the job.
Definitely.
This team just relies on hope. That's what it is. You mentioned earlier in the show that they've done the bare minimum. So are Cardinal fans frustrated? Yeah, they are, because this team had a terrible season, and their best option to get back to relevancy is doing the bare minimum.
But did they do the bare minimum?
What's up?
Because the bare minimum for me would have been not signing Sonny Gray. It would have been bringing in another Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson-esque pitcher. That would have been the bare minimum.
That's below bare minimum, in my opinion.
So you think Sonny Gray is bare minimum?
For what this rotation looks like, I think so.
Really? The third guy on the fourth guy, because Ohtani, but fourth guy on the list, do you think that's the bare minimum?
I wouldn't say it's a bare minimum. I think you're right in that they could have signed another guy to a 1-year deal and said, okay, we're done. We filled the rotation. Or they could have just said, well, we'll let the young guys compete for the 5th spot.
So that's back to being competitive. I believe we're right around the bare minimum. Because, I mean, if you don't sign Sonny Gray, you're not even, you don't have a chance.
Yeah.
You don't have a chance.
No, you don't. And you might not have a chance right now.
You may not.
If you don't have a chance right now, you're saying that. Why is that? Is it because they've done the bare minimum? I mean, you said it at the beginning of the show.
Because this team lost its way 5 years ago.
Like the puppy?
Yeah. And now they're not. Now they're not willing to
find that
put posters up on the trees and go around knocking on doors. They're not willing to do that.
And I'm not trying to take anything away from Sonny Gray, second to Cy Young voting this year. I'm sure he's going to have a great year for the Cardinals. I hope he does. I'm sure the front office hopes he does. But that's one guy. I feel like you need to bring in an extra dude that is going to put this team over the top.
You know what, Anthony? I've got the answer for Andrew.
Coming up next?
No. Still available, too.
Okay. What's trending?
Get him in.
What's trending is next on 101 ESPN.
Bauer,
Come on.
Door number 2. Gentlemen, listen up. Are you currently paying too much for your ED meds? Odds are that, yes, you are. And that's okay, right? You think the little blue pill, the little gummy bear thingies, I got to make sure that when it's game time, I can go. Yeah, don't pay too much, though. The Medicine Shop in St. Charles, your destination for cheap ED meds. They've got a generic called Sildenafil for less than $2 a pill. Prescription is required, but don't overspend for that stuff. The Medicine Shop has you covered. They also have you covered if you have a crazy lifestyle or you're just busy and you just can't get to the pharmacy. They offer free discreet shipping and delivery to your home or your workplace for any medicines that you need on a regular basis. I take full advantage of this program. I can tell you what, it is awesome. The pharmacy is also awesome. They got a full pharmacy located in St. Charles. The staff is great. They answer all your questions. They offer you suggestions for certain things. It's just a great family atmosphere over at the Medicine Shop in St. Charles. So please get in there today. Tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you in. If you can't get there in person, get there online. Visit stcharles.pharmacy. That's stcharles.pharmacy.
.101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues lost to the Blackhawks on Saturday by a final score of 3-1. They'll look to bounce back against the Detroit Red Wings tomorrow night. Pregame starts at 5:30. Puck drop is at 6:30. You can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. Tonight we have Monday Night Football. It's the Titans taking on the Dolphins. Kickoff for that one is at 7:15, and it'll be right here on 101 ESPN. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have What's Trending coming up next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at Londoff.com and LondoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
What's trending in the world of sports? The Fast Lane has you covered. What's trending now?
Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate to Goodwill to win a magical Polar Express staycation.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Guys, the biggest news in sports right now, of course, is the NBA in-season tournament.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Lakers defeated the Pacers 123-109.
Oh, no.
Did you guys catch any of this game? Did you even care? Did you even know it was happening?
No on all those.
I've been extremely fired up.
Have you?
Yeah, I really have. To find out what the hell this tournament really is.
It's the in-season tournament.
Yeah. So
they're going to crown an in-season champion.
Yeah, none of it makes sense to me. It really makes no sense at all. You've got players that are already trying to pull this load management, and now you're going to throw extra games on their schedule with a tournament that means pretty much nothing. I don't know how the NBA figured this was going to be awesome. And maybe I'm wrong. Texters, you can fire in here at 314-399-9646, Air Comfort Service text line. Like, if you loved it and you couldn't wait, you can't wait for the next one, like, I want to hear about it. Tell me why. Because I look at this, and I thought there was going to be a break. When they brought this idea, I thought there was going to be a little break somewhere in the season where they play a little 4 or 6 team tournament. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe the top 3 teams in each conference play a little tournament, or the bottom 3 in each conference play a little tournaments. Give them something to play for.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was going to be right from the beginning of the season. Then it'd be over like 20 games in. I think this is really silly.
I feel like the NBA is trying to capitalize on the great. The NFL has it down pat because they only play once a week. And then they've got the playoffs, and the playoffs are always interesting. But the best format in all sports is March Madness. So maybe the NBA is trying to capitalize a little bit on that. The tournament play is always exciting and intriguing.
Is it?
It's not a series. It's just
how many did you watch, Anthony?
0.0.
See? Boy, it must have been exciting.
Jamie, you asked a question. Why? I was trying to help.
If somebody goes, it's only one extra game. Do your research. Yeah, I don't care. I'm not going to watch. I don't care. I didn't even know what the hell why they're doing it.
By the way, minus 10 points for the do your research.
We got a text from the 314.
I don't know what I'm taking away from, but it's just minus 10. It's a penalty, minus 10.
We got a text from the 314. Jamie, you clearly don't know what you're talking about. And neither do I.
I don't care if they're not extra games. Okay, let's. How about this? Everybody who's listening, let's eliminate the extra games. Don't claim to know anything about it. I literally just told you I had no idea what was going on, okay?
That's correct.
So guilty as charged.
Yeah.
What else? Sell me something else about this, except for it was an extra game. There's the championship game. Okay, what else? What pumped your nads watching this tournament? Tell me, please.
What pumped your tires?
Well, the court looked cool.
Like what? Yeah, the court was kind of interesting. I saw it. I was at a bar, and I was like, what the hell is that court all about? Yeah. I thought it was like the And One tour all over again.
I mean, if you're an NBA fan, you're probably watching anyways, right? If you're an NBA fan, you're watching anyways. If you're a casual fan, did you watch? That's the question.
No. I go back to this. Like, why do these players even want to do this?
Why are you yelling at me? I don't know.
I'm not. I'm just yelling in general.
I don't get it.
That's what I get. When I get passionate about something or confused, I just yell.
I have no idea, man. I don't know. I've got no I got 0.0 answers for you.
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
From the 406, I enjoyed it. And I don't want to crap on people who enjoyed it.
Yeah, don't
I
do
just want to
that.
know why you enjoyed it. It said you could see that the players cared a lot in the intensity of play, and some of the lower paid players got a chance to make huge pay bump. Okay, how did they get a chance to make a huge pay bump? Is it because they played the lower tiered guys more? Do they get playing time bonuses?
Well, the winner gets a percentage.
Only one team, though.
Oh, yeah, it reminds me
So
of
everybody
like
else played for nothing.
Well, you got to win.
Got to win.
I'm just asking. Guys, I'm doing my research right now. Remember the research guy?
Yes.
I'm doing it right now.
But he's minus 10 right now, so.
The NBA is better than the NHL. Oh, okay, that's your argument? Oh, no, they put an LOL. All right. I read every text angry.
Yeah, I was about to say, got to remember, Jamie reads every text angry.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what it is.
I just don't understand the concept, apart from more advertising dollars and maybe another avenue to sell some things. I don't know, Anthony. I just don't get it. Especially a league that wants to, like, guys that want to play less and be paid more.
That's yes. I would just go with yes on that.
All right.
We got a text from the 636. You guys are talking too much about the NBA today. Let's move on.
I'm just confused.
Didn't even mention this. Jaden Daniels, Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, congratulations.
You guys think that he deserved it?
Yes.
Yeah, Jamie.
Your
I have a
hand is up.
question. I mean, I'm not going to just interrupt.
Sorry, I'm used to that when I'm at home.
Wow, Anthony.
My kids do it all the time.
That's what I was thinking about. Anyways,
they do. My wife and I are finally talking. Chris and I are finally talking about something.
Really?
Daddy, mommy, daddy.
The kids always interrupt you, no matter what you're
they can
doing.
Smell it.
They got a radar for no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, they can all be there watching TV. You finally just go into the kitchen, have a conversation.
Like,
boom,
heaven
one of
forbid
them's right there.
You enjoy yourself for like 3-4 minutes.
Nope.
Have you seen the
3 or 4 minutes?
the Family Guy episode when Stewie is by the bedside of Lois and he's like, Mommy.
Yeah, that's basically how it is.
Mommy.
Yes.
Mom. She's like, what?
Hi. I love you.
So, yeah, I've seen that. All right. So my question or my comment about Jaden Daniels is one, I didn't think he was ever going to not win it with the numbers he had. Mm-hmm. But I saw a video resurface over the weekend of his ASU teammates that were so pissed off at him when he decided to transfer. Mm-hmm. They were in his locker looting through his things and like taking his shoes and taking crap and be like, screw that guy.
Oh, jeez.
You can pull it up on the TwitX thing there. I was like, really?
That's bad.
Now he's got a Heisman. He's like, take all the damn sneakers you want, you filthy animals.
We have a lot of people on the text line wanting Jamie to ask Piddles about the NBA conversation.
Oh, I'm sure Action Jackson's all over this NBA stuff.
No, he's not. There's no way.
What do you mean there's no way?
There's no way.
He is.
He's the NBA expert.
Yeah, but even he knows the term is crap. He knows that. Especially if they're just regular season games anyways, and only one extra game. What's the difference? Just watch your normal NBA programming, folks.
Oh, Jamie.
If you like that sort of thing. The NBA's gotten boring, let's be honest. It's really boring.
Absolutely.
It used to be fun. Like, I'm not even talking about the 90s where it was like elbows and body checking in the paint. Like,
but you're mostly talking about the 90s.
Yeah, I do like the 80s were good too. But even in the early 2000s, like when you had the big men, like when Shaq was there, like you had these guys that were dominating the paint. You'd see slam dunks and all this stuff. And now it's like, no, kick it outside, three-pointer.
You tell me you don't like
Your defense is this?
Yeah. No.
You don't like the Pacers shooting 41 times from beyond the arc?
No, I
That's
find...
how you win.
Yeah, they were 10 for 41.
For me, there's no entertainment. I would be more entertained watching Anthony throw it 41 times. Because I feel like there's a chance that you might miss a lot, and I could laugh.
It'd get boring and sad after a while.
It's boring anyways, even when they make them.
It'd be sad, though, because I'm not making anything.
I think it'd be more exciting because there'd be rebounds, generate some action underneath the rim.
Yeah, okay.
That's what you want.
Makes sense.
All the action you can get right under the rim.
Old Action Jackson. Standing right under the hoop.
That's what he meant. Yep.
Totally what I meant.
Guys, and hold on to your answers here. By the way, Craig from O'Fallon Mo won the tickets to the Def Leppard.
Oh, boy, Craig.
That boy, Craig. Journey concert, yeah. I made a reference to a comedian while talking about Mahomes earlier, and the comedian was Bill Burr. That's why Jamie went.
It's cold outside.
Yeah. So, Craig from O'Fallon Mo, congratulations. We've got Def Leppard and Journey tickets to give away all week. And again, hold your answer on this. If I were to give you the 49ers or the Fields to win the Super Bowl, who are you taking? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, wait. How about a great holiday idea for a loved one? Maybe it's your dad, maybe it's your mom, maybe it's your brother, sister, whoever it is. Head over to Pure Performance and let them accessorize their vehicle. Pure Performance is the best in the business. They are your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications. These modifications include soft tops, trail doors, sunshades, running boards, leveling kits, lift kits, oversized tires, wheels. They've got everything over at Pure Performance. If you've got a Jeep or a Bronco, I'm telling you right now, they make magic with those vehicles. You will not even recognize it once they're done. It's incredible what Pure Performance does. And one thing that you can do, though, is you can stop by Pure Performance. They have a 25,000 square foot facility, and it's incredible. Just walk in, ask for Shelby. Tell Shelby that Jamie Rivers sent you in. She's going to ask you what kind of vehicle you have, what you're looking to do. Then she's going to get you all set up. And the technicians from there, they're the wizards. They do a fantastic job of making everything look so amazing. And while you're in there, too, if you have anything else that needs to be addressed, they've got a full-service garage available to you. So tune-ups, oil changes, anything you need, they've got you covered at Pure Performance. So again, please stop by and say hi or visit them online at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
Marsh, if I gave you the Niners or the field to win the Super Bowl, what do you got? Who are you taking? Niners or the rest of the field?
Man.
AFC and NFC. So in that little gift basket, you got the Ravens, you've got the Dolphins, you got the Chiefs, you got the Eagles, you got the Cowboys.
Well, it's not going to be the Cowboys.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Jamie's Lions. Jamie's Buccaneers.
Absolutely. They might not even make the playoffs.
Who?
The Bucs.
No, the Bucs are
first
definitely
place
making
right
it.
now.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, the Falcons are the team they're competing
Are you
with.
kidding me? Bucs are definitely making the playoffs.
My bad.
That's the winner of that division.
Yes.
I think I could go to the 49ers. I mean, all these other teams are finding ways to lose games or almost lose games. And I don't trust that heading into the playoffs. Although the Niners did have problems earlier in the season where they lost a string of games, they're playing really good football right now. They're beating teams that they need to beat. And I think right now they look like the best team in football. And I think a lot of people would agree with that.
I'm going to circle back to you, Marsh, because you actually surprised me a little bit by that answer.
Really?
For one specific reason. But, Jamie, if I gave you a nice little basket over here, and in that basket, you can have the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Chiefs, the Bills, your Lions, your Packers, your now Cowboys, the Eagles. Lions is what I meant to say. Yeah. Or Bucks is what I meant to say. I said Lions. Got that basket. Yeah. Or one basket, one team, Niners to win the Super Bowl.
Well, based on that, I'll take the field. Because the odds are, that somebody else, the odds are greater. Vegas, would never give you equal odds on that, by the way.
No.
It would be way off on that.
Yes.
No, but I think the Niners are the team to beat for sure. And, Anthony, I think our preseason prediction is on a crash course for the Super Bowl, which was the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, yeah. You and I are pretty dumb, but we look pretty smart on this, Jamie.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And it's the color of the Super Bowl logo this year. Both teams with the colors, as the trends would have it.
Oh,
these
scripted.
two teams.
So what is it, gold and purple?
It's red and purple.
Wow.
So you got the
Scripted
49ers.
again.
I mean,
Damn
I'm
NFL.
It got us again.
I'm holding out for a Vikings-Chiefs Super Bowl myself.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
You know.
That makes sense. Absolutely. Marsh, you surprised me a little bit only because you have often been the guy that has said the Niners will get hurt. McCaffrey can't make it. Debo can't make it. Brock Purdy won't make it. You've often cited the Niners' injuries.
I have.
And really, they are one of those big-time injuries away from losing. Because you mentioned the 3-game losing streak that they went on. And why did they go on a 3-game losing streak?
Because they were injured.
Because parts of games or
were
full
they injured
games.
or were they hurt?
They were hurt in both. Debo was hurt. Or Debo was injured. McCaffrey was hurt. Great program reference.
Yep.
But, Marsh, you've often cited that. So, as I represent this, before you say final answer, are you going to take the Niners or are you going to jump in the field with Jamie?
I'm taking the Niners.
Wow. Okay.
They already got hurt.
All right.
Yeah, they got that out of the way.
I'm with you, by the way. They're the most complete team.
I mean, I think this would be
close, quite frankly.
I think the Niners right now are the best team in the NFL, but they're definitely the best team in the NFC, obviously.
Probably the best team in the world, would you say?
In the world?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, they are.
Healthy?
They would be world champions.
They're good. I'll tell you who's good. Brock Purdy's good.
Yeah.
I'm watching him drop the football in now, in areas where, elite quarterbacks are doing it. And before was Brock Purdy's a systems quarterback. You're not a systems quarterback when you can drop it in between two defenders into your receiver's hands.
Right.
I'm sorry. He's talented. Or he's developed, or whatever you want to call it.
I've mentioned this before about Purdy and Tua. Tua was taken 5th or 6th overall. Brock Purdy was taken dead last in the draft. Both of them would technically be, to some, I mean, they're all playing systems. This is our argument, right? In the fast lane, we're like, they're all in a system.
Yeah.
But to use the term that is thrown around by a lot of NFL fans, football fans, he's a system guy, meaning he's just like a game manager, right? Like he's just a point guard. Tua's the same thing. But because Tua, I argue, was a first-round pick, top 10 pick, we view it differently than Brock. It's almost like, he got lucky. No, I think the NFL missed on this one. It has happened, and he landed in the best system, and now his talents are on full display.
Yeah.
His footwork is outstanding. His accuracy is off the charts. He just fit perfectly into the system. And, yeah, he's got a lot of talent around. But it's no different than Tua. But we don't talk about Tua being a system guy necessarily. Why? He's a top 10 pick. If Brock Purdy was the number 1 overall pick, we'd be talking about him like he's Joe Burrow. I guarantee it.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't be far off. Although if he was a number 1 pick, it'd be hard-pressed to find a team that good to play with right away.
Very true. Very true.
I'm just saying.
Although he took Trey Lance third.
Yeah, but look at him.
Yeah, he's in Dallas.
That injury conversation that you brought up, I mean, you can make that for any team, though.
Marsh, I brought this up specifically for you.
No, I know.
Because you have often talked about McCaffrey not making it through and Debo not making it through.
With just cause, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And just because you said that, just
well played.
I brought it up. They already got injured, though, so I'll use that as the injury bug, and they look bad. They did look bad.
They did. Okay, so I brought this up at the start of the show today, 3 hours ago. I said, is this Shohei Ohtani anything really good for baseball? If you said, oh, yeah, definitely. The numbers on his contract and what he's going to allow the Dodgers to do, you may feel differently after you hear him. Next on 101 ESPN.
Selling your home is a big deal. It can be stressful. It can be nerve-wracking. It can be exhausting, quite honestly. And when you're selling your home, especially at this time of year, you can't just trust the sale of your home with any average agent. You want the best. And the best is Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Here's a couple reasons why. Gloria already has the buyers. She's got a database with thousands of ready buyers that are set up to get to your listing, creating more traffic, and maybe there's going to be multiple offers on your home. Either way, that means a sale of your home and hopefully more money for you. Gloria also has options. My favorite option, you all know this, is guaranteed sales. Who wouldn't want a guaranteed sale? That's where Gloria Liu will sell your home at the agreed upon price with you, or she buys it herself and she guarantees that in handwriting. So if you're looking to sell your home right now, or you're thinking about selling your home in the future, call Gloria Liu. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. That number is 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or you can visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions do apply. Gloria and the seller must agree upon the sales price and possession date.
So we kicked off the fast lane today when we got nasty at 2:00. I said Ohtani $700 million. One is gonna work for the Dodgers. And Tony left us a mic drop earlier in the show, which I completely agreed with. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think you could just hand over $700 million to one player and build a competitive team year in and year out. Well, you can if you're deferring most of the money.
What do you mean by that, Anthony? Explain that.
Well, according to a report by The Athletic, Shohei Ohtani will defer $68 million per year of his $70 million annual salary.
So wait, 68 of his $70 million. So they're going to pay him, guarantee him $2 million a year.
$2 million a year,
and then the rest is deferred over what?
Yes,
the next 500 years.
Probably. He'll be dead and still be collected.
How is the deferring schedule for I want to see the deferring schedule.
Oh, but
because Bobby Bonilla's pissed now.
Bobby's like,
no.
What the hell? In an effort to enable the Dodgers to continue spending around stars Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman, Ohtani agreed to defer all but $2 million of his annual salary, $68 million of his $70 million per year, until after the completion of his contract. The deferred money is to be paid out without interest from 2034 to 2043.
Oh my gosh!
So it's not the Bobby Bonilla deal, because he's basically collecting, from what I can understand. Somebody was talking about this earlier today. From what I can understand, Bobby Bonilla, when he shows up every year to the Mets, the Bobby Bonilla Day and all that, it's all interest that he's earned. This is without interest, which tells me Shohei is really, really all in to try to win.
It shows me that. You know what else it shows me? Just how much money Shohei Ohtani
make.
How much he is already making in endorsements. Because his agent doesn't tell him, by the way, you're only going to make $2 million a year playing in L.A. We're going to get taxed 50% on that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
No. This means he has massive endorsement deals coming or signed already.
Right.
Otherwise, there's no way you do it. From a quality of living for a major league superstar, he would say, you're going to guarantee me at least $10 million. Like, give me a lifestyle here.
Right.
Well, if you're Shohei Ohtani.
I know what you mean.
I'm not talking about you and I'm talking about Shohei Ohtani. Like, there's a lifestyle that comes with this. You just signed for $700 million. You're not living in the one-bedroom apartment that's attached to the lady's house.
Right.
Because that's the L.A. prices.
He's biking to work every day.
He's rollerblading into friggin' Dodger Stadium.
He's living above the garage of some old sweet
with a
lady.
Window unit.
Yeah. He's living at the stadium. See you later, Miss Williams. I'll be back. Not that Shohei would sound like that at all, but
maybe he speaks better now than he did before.
Yeah. $70 million per year, 68 deferred until 2034 and 2043. So I initially agreed with Tony when he's like, it's not going to work. I had the same thought. No, it's going to work because the Dodgers are going to be able to keep spending. Check back in 2034 and 2043 with the Dodgers, but that's a long time from now.
I hope they don't win a World Series at all.
I hope so, too. I'm with you.
So I posed this question in the break.
And why, right? Like,
because we're mad.
Right.
We don't like it.
But I feel the same way, Marsh. You're like, but I hope you don't win.
Is Shohei Ohtani going to become a villain in baseball now? Like, I think that for the most part, he is beloved by Major League Baseball fans, not just Angel fans at the time and now Dodger fans, but I feel like everyone liked Shohei Ohtani because he's a likable dude.
Yeah.
Does this sort of make him a villain in a sense? Because now he's playing for a team that I think a lot of fans around baseball would consider to be a villain. The National League villain.
This is now the evil empire. That's laughable when you think about the Yankees, the evil empire. Are you kidding me? That's nothing compared to what we're seeing now.
Just first order.
Just wait till they sign Yamamoto.
It's child's play.
In 24 hours.
No kidding. Evil empire. That's laughable compared to what the Dodgers are doing.
Your rotation in 2 years could be Timmy Tight Pants, Walker Buehler, Shohei Ohtani, Yamamoto. Who else have they got?
They got all their young guys. All the young guys, like, what's his name? Bobby. I want to say Bobby Miller, but maybe I get the first or last name wrong.
Bobby, the guy, the flying tomato.
That's Dustin May.
No, that's right.
Yeah. Carrot Top? Yeah, that's Dustin May.
I'm just wondering what this rotation looks like in 2 years. If they get a Yamamoto.
Oh, they probably will.
Unhittable. That's what it looks like. It looks unhittable.
Then you've got Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freeman, and whoever else. Maybe Cody Bellinger back.
Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Yeah.
Just the two of us.
We can make it. That's unbelievable.
Hey, you know what, though?
What?
Just get in, baby.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question?
Just get in. You know what, Marsh? Just get in. You never know.
You never know.
I got a question I'll save it for the biggest question of the day at the bottom of the hour here. But I do have a question when it comes to Ohtani and another sport, specifically a player in another sport who's been criticized. We'll get to that. We'll get to that 5:30. Just thought of it. Just off the top of this old dome. Every once in a while, the hamster gets back on the wheel.
Absolutely.
And spins out a gem, and he just did, I think.
Well,
we'll
he's
find
usually
out.
getting knocked off the wheel.
Usually knocked off the wheel because the mic hits me in the face.
A pool wall.
Oh, yeah.
Guys,
desk.
We got a great text here. And
you ain't lying, Mark.
I don't know if it's true or not. No idea, but I really do hope it's true. It's from the 314. It says Lance Lynn deferred $12,000 per year to keep the Cardinals competitive.
Hell yeah, he did.
I think. Well, didn't Sonny Gray? Sonny Gray defer?
He did. He did. Hey, let's not forget, your St. Louis Cardinals are taking on these Los Angeles Dodgers opening week.
This isn't fun. Like the 6-1 hate is about his head is about to explode. But I just thought about it based on that text, which is brilliant. Shohei's like, hey, let's defer this money. Dodgers within 24 hours, they're going to sign Yamamoto. Sonny Gray's like, hey, let's defer, right? I'll defer the money, free up. And then the DeWitts are like, good. Save a little We'll
Let's
save
go
a little
get
money
those
this
two
year.
pitchers from the Red Sox.
No, they didn't do that. We'll just save it.
We haven't even talked about that trade yet.
Let's bank it. Oh, the O'Neal trade? Yeah,
we haven't done it.
Talked about Tyler.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all fine. All right. Sports Six Pack is next. If you got a question, send it into the Air Comfort Service tax line 314-399-9646. Sports Six Pack is next. Hey, if you're looking for some holiday gift ideas, how about a car? Head down to Auto Center Nissan Herculaneum, right, Jamie? I mean, come on, you see the commercials all the time, right? The man or the woman says, I got you something. New car from Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. Right now, they've got no money down, no payments for 90 days, and 0% APR for up to 5 years. Those are just some of the options at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. They've got unbelievable financing options available that couldn't come at a better time. You know where rates are right now. No problem. Financing options for everyone that walks through the door. Good credit, bad credit, doesn't matter at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. If you're looking for a new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle, they've got them. 700, in fact. They've got over 700 on their lots. One location in Herculaneum, you can find either a brand new Nissan or a pre-owned vehicle, different makes, models. They've got trucks, vans, cars, SUVs. They've got them all. Plus, you can enter to win a brand new Polaris ATV. Grab a hot dog just for stopping by. No purchase necessary on that. Tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Center Nissan Herculaneum.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six Pack is now.
With Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh with your questions for the Sports Six Pack.
Question number 1, please.
All right, gentlemen, we were talking earlier about head coaches in the NFL being bad at their jobs in the final 2 minutes of each half. We got a question from the 309. Anthony, do coaches try to outsmart themselves and get burned, or are they just ignorant?
That's a really good question. I'm sure some coaches outsmart themselves and they burn, they wind up burned, but I'm sorry, there's nothing for this specific case. And I was talking about Sean McDermott and how he handled the 2-minute drill or the clock management right before the 2-minute last night. We're all talking about Kadarius Toney line up off sides and all that. A horrible decision. But the Bills got away with not running the clock right, not game planning the clock right. You got to force Kansas City to use all their timeouts so that when they get the ball back and they're down by 3, at the very least, they don't have timeouts. Instead, somehow the Chiefs came out of that with both of their timeouts because they used one earlier in the quarter, but they had both of their timeouts, and Mahomes was getting the ball back, only needing a field goal in that spot. So it was horrible. But back to the question. I think some coaches might outthink themselves, trying to anticipate what the other side's going to do. But I think most just concentrate on their area of expertise and don't spend enough time with game management. For example, Nathaniel Hackett last year became a head coach. He concentrated on his side of the ball, which is offense. And he blew multiple games earlier in the year because of poor clock management. Jamie's guy, Dan Campbell, admitted that he blew several games in the first half last year because of poor decisions with the clock. Week 17 rolls around, or week 18 rolls around, and they're playing the Packers. And there's a major decision to be made when it comes to the clock and Dan Campbell. And I can't remember the exact situation was, and he made it perfectly. And the Lions were able to retain the ball, no issues. Don't have to worry about Green Bay coming back and winning that game. That's somebody that is evolving. Campbell evolved. You got to do. You have to invest as much.
He's got a clock guy now.
Maybe he does. Or maybe he took the time to say, look, if I'm not running the offense or defense, I better know the situation. And McDermott has got to be on the headset saying to Joe Brady, the offense coordinator, run the ball. We want them to waste their timeouts right now.
Yeah, that's just silly to me.
It was bad. It was real bad. But not a lot of people talking about it because Kadarius Toney lined up off sides.
OKT.
And by the way, Jamie, we were talking about him not checking with the ref. There is one shot where they break the huddle, and Kadarius Toney, before he's even set, looks over to the ref and says, am I good? He wasn't even set then.
No, he wasn't set. So
he wasn't
the
even
ref was
set
like,
then.
yeah, you're good.
He was checking in before he was even set and then never looked back.
Then he was like a dog on a bone, just looking at that ball.
Bills and Chiefs, not Super Bowl contenders.
Question number 2.
Oh, I agree.
Ravens and Niners.
Yeah, baby.
We were just talking about Ohtani potentially being a villain in Major League Baseball. From the 314, speaking of villains, in your opinion, what makes a good sports villain, and who was the best sports villain you've seen?
Wow.
Tom Brady was a really good sports villain because he was really good.
He was a handsome devil,
and
charming.
He's winning all the time.
Well, I wouldn't call him a villain.
Oh, he's a big villain.
Like Bill Belichick's more of a villain than Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they're one and the same.
Are they really villains, though?
Oh, yeah, they cheated multiple times.
Allegedly.
They did bend the rules.
What do you mean allegedly? They cheated.
I think a really good villain.
Guys have softer balls all the time.
Okay, well,
they do.
That's fine.
So
what about videotaping?
Whether Brady's
teams?
balls are hard or soft, it doesn't matter. It's all about the quarterback's feel and how it is in his hand.
Well, you got to remember about pressure too, baryonic pressure and things like that.
You got to worry
Impacts
about
your balls.
100%. So I don't view that necessarily as cheating. I call that personal preference.
Yeah, but Marsh talking really more about the game filming.
Yeah.
Hey, it was readily available. They were filming a commercial. The practice just happened to be in the background.
Man.
What's going on in here? Is that the Rams?
Pay no attention to the guy over there with the camera.
We know who Connor Stallions looked up to.
Yeah, no kidding.
Bill Belichick's my favorite coach.
Young Connor Stallions, probably somewhere on it, like 5 years old, thinking, I want to do that.
So let's play a little game quickly here.
Yeah.
Real quick. Who's your best all-time NFL villain?
Ooh.
So I'm going to do like NBA, the 4 major sports, NBA, NFL, NHL, and MLB. Each league, and it doesn't have to be like all time. It could just be a villain that you remember from your childhood, from a team you hated, or like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like for Marshy, if it's the NFL, maybe it is Tom Brady.
Yeah, he broke my heart in early 2002.
You got to be good and also kind of cocky and arrogant
and like hateable, but you're like so good that you're like rubbing it in people's faces.
See, I would consider Rodgers like a villain, but he's not, you know?
Yeah, he's
like,
becoming likable. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't either.
No.
See, to me, he's good and not likable. Like, you're a villain. But
like Ndamukong Suh, that guy's a villain. That guy's a menace to society.
Yeah, when you're stomping on people's legs.
He's kicking people. Every play, there's something going on.
Yeah.
Now, was he necessarily good enough? Although he did win a championship with the Bucks, finally.
Yeah.
Like, people could say Dick Butkus. He was a villain. But we love him because he was a villain.
Right.
But if you're a Green Bay Packers fan, you probably hate Dick Butkus.
Sure.
For what he did to several players.
Yeah, I guess it's all about who you root for.
Yeah. NBA, I think it's easy to say that Rodman was a villain. I think that then, depending on who you cheer for, just his antics and just things. Bill Laimbeer was a villain.
Yeah.
A lot of those Pistons were villains.
All right, so let me ask you this then.
Larry Bird was a villain. You ever watch him play?
Yeah, he was
dirty,
cutthroat.
man.
Yeah. Okay, so is in sports, we think of like heroes and villains, movies and TV shows. But when it comes to sports, is the villain the actual team? Because like you bring up the Pistons, like the late 80s, early 90s Pistons, the bad boys. I think of the team. And then, of course, you've got Bill Laimbeer and Rodman and those guys.
Yeah,
Isaiah.
You could say, the Golden State Warriors as a team were villains because of, one, they have Draymond Green on their team.
Yeah.
Two, they bring in Kevin Durant because they can't beat LeBron and Kyrie Irving. Like, I would consider they became villains because of that move. Whereas before that, the Yankees villains, Red Sox.
See, I think it's got to be a team.
But each of those teams has one guy that stood out more than the others. Like, if you look at the Baltimore Ravens, obviously Ray Lewis. Like, some people love Ray Lewis. I love the way he played the game of football, and people talk about how ferocious he was. But I guarantee if you're a Steelers fan or something like that, you hate Ray Lewis.
For sure. Yeah.
And he was an impact player.
Yeah, I think it's got to be what team you're rooting for against.
I don't know. I find it interesting. Brad Marchand's an easy one.
Yeah.
Sean Avery is an easy one to hate.
Yeah.
Daniel Carcillo was an easy one for people to hate, but those guys weren't really, like, Brad Marchand's the only one's really impactful of those guys.
Yeah, like as a Blues fan, I'd say Andrew Shaw was one of those guys.
Andrew Shaw, for sure. See?
He was one of those guys.
I'm sure Otter was some.
Oh, he was a piece
that
of
guy.
work. Yeah, Otter was a piece of work. Played against him a lot. We had some battles.
Cardinal fans, Brandon Phillips, Niger Morgan, those two guys were villains in the early 2010s.
Barry Bonds. How about that?
Late 2000s.
Barry Bonds probably the ultimate villain.
Right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, we don't have to drag this off the rails. I just find it interesting to see what people, their perception of a villain and what
Lance
the villain
Armstrong.
Oh, yeah. The cycling psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, man, can't stand him.
Did you root against him a lot?
I mean, literally don't.
I remember watching.
Yeah, I was so invested in those Tour de France.
I remember watching all of those Tour de France's. Honestly,
rooting against them.
Like so many stages, I just glued to the TV. Like, there's nothing that screams intensity, Anthony, honestly, than watching a whole bunch of dudes on a bike to where you can barely see the background change at all. You just see the bike moving. Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
It's thrilling.
God, every time he wore that yellow shirt, man, I just...
You were seeing red.
Man.
Or yellow, in this case.
Claude Lemieux, that's a good one, too.
Question number 3.
All right, from the 573, besides the fact that the Dodgers will never be able to trade Shohei off, how many World Series do they need to win to make this worth it?
Okay, let me ask you this. Why will they never be able to trade him off? Right now with that contract the way it is, you got deferred money? I'm like, hey, I'm the Orioles. I'll take it.
Until that bill comes due.
Yeah, we'll trade
10
him
years from now.
2 years left in his contract. We'll trade him back to somebody else. Here you go.
They're like, I don't think so. I read the fine print.
I guarantee he's got a no trade clause for the simple fact that he did work that contract that way.
Yeah.
Because if the Dodgers suck for 2 years, they might think, hey, Shohei.
Right.
How do you like Cincinnati?
Mm-hmm. $700 million. I think you have to win at least 3 World Series in the time that he's a Dodger. At least 3.
3 and 10. I don't think that's doable. I think 2.
3 and 10.
2 and 10 is doable.
You better become a dynasty. 3 and 10. 3 and 5 would be a dynasty. I'm giving you 3 and 10.
More like 3.
I hope they win 0.
Oh, I'm with you on that.
I can't stand them now, Anthony.
But to the question, how would you justify it?
You have to at least win 1. I mean, that's
Marsh.
bare minimum.
We
established the bare minimum today.
You're setting the Cardinal standard. I'm saying 3.
Anthony, come on now. We're talking World Series, not divisions here.
If the yes, totally. If
Mo just went.
If Mo just buckled. You didn't know what happened. He thinks a pit viper bit him in the back of the leg. If you're the Dodgers and you win 1 World Series, you get to a World Series twice after that during Shohei Ohtani's tenure. Is that a failure?
Yes.
Is
$700 million.
They've already made it to the World Series without him.
$700 million.
Okay. I'm just asking, Anthony. You're all mad at me.
Well, what's that? I mean, come on. If you're spending $700 million, what is that going for?
Here's another question.
Trying to buy this World Series.
We were just talking about villains, right?
Yeah.
Which era of this team, of like a certain team, would you hate more? Would it be the late 90s, early 2000s Yankees, or this now version of the Dodgers?
Yankees.
What the Dodgers are doing pales in comparison. Yes, I would. It's my father's birthday too. I can't say that.
I know. That's why I said it for you.
He
Yankees.
bleeds Bronx blue. I mean, come on. But still, the Dodgers. This is what the Yankees were doing were child's play to what the Dodgers are doing. Wait until they sign Yamamoto.
It's all relative, though, to the times. Do you know what I mean?
Then
I
it's
hate
at
the
least
Yankees way more than I hate the Dodgers
par.
right now.
Then it's at least on par.
Maybe it's on par, whatever. But the Yankees at one point were just dominating your face with whatever contract they wanted to put out there.
They put it right in your face.
They did, and they just took that player right. You almost had him. Nope.
I think the fans play a factor in that too.
What's that commercial with the old man with the dollar?
Oh, that's the Geico.
The Geico.
It'll be quicker than that.
Jamie just said that. I was thinking of that. Almost had it. I'm sorry, Marsha. What were you saying?
I was saying that I think, no offense to your father, happy birthday, but I think fans play into that as well. They get a little bit arrogant. That's why a lot of people don't like Boston fans because they started winning some championships. And they thought they were on top of the world. Mm-hmm. Where let's slow down now. Your franchises used to be terrible.
That's correct.
But now since you win a little bit, you get a little bit of arrogancy.
Yes.
And I think we're starting to see that now with Kansas City Chiefs fans as well.
Oh, shout across the bow.
Phil Malika, director extraordinaire over at Bally's Sports Midwest, says, I'm a big Yankees fan. That's exactly why I hate them, Phil.
Oh, Phil. I'd like to apologize for Jamie, but you know how he is.
Real quick here.
Question number 4.
Get this in. 314 Anchorman Brawl style. Who wins in a fight? The morning drive, the fast lane, or the Riz show?
No, come on.
Me and Anthony, we could literally step back and eat some popcorn.
Yeah.
Watch Jamie take all of them.
You guys would be
down.
a big help. Are you kidding me? You're a young guy in great shape. You're no stranger to some of the physical violence with the sport of hockey. You know what you're doing. You can handle yourself. And Anthony's batshit, you know what? Those things. I blanked out the wrong word on that one. Hopefully we caught it.
Yeah,
we did.
Hit the button.
Yeah.
YouTube didn't, but I did. It took me a second, too. Thank God there's a 4-second delay.
Yeah. Well, it was just kind of, I don't know.
But Anthony's crazy, so I don't worry about us.
You're absolutely right.
Anthony would take a rusty spoon and stab you.
No doubt. You know that.
Yeah.
It took me a second, too. I'm
I
like,
was like, wait.
It sounded good.
Yeah.
I was like, blanked out the wrong word.
What word were you going to not say?
Yeah, you know.
Or which word did you not say?
I was going to say, I was trying to blank out a word, except I blanked out crazy.
You blanked out crazy.
I did. You kept the other one in there, though.
That's all right. We dumped it.
Guess the listeners will never know.
Yeah, well, some will.
The YouTubers are loving it.
Yeah. Our apologies to anybody listening in the snake pit that finds, you know what, it's a snake pit. They appreciated it.
Yeah.
All right. I had said that I got the biggest question of the day today. It's on Ohtani, and it's how we view him compared to a player in another sport where we would consider him kind of a villain. We'll get to that next on 101 ESPN.
Cheap, fun. Exciting times are back. Dirt Cheap, your one-stop shop party shop, is hosting the Bourbon Raffle again this year. Visit any of your local Dirt Cheaps for a chance to win the opportunity to purchase some of the most sought-after, high-quality bourbons around. Enter to win now through December 14th, so that's right around the corner. You better hurry up. One entry per day per customer. You got to see the store for details. Dirt Cheap offers a full selection of bourbons. Trust me, I know. From single barrel to high rye to small batch, all at Dirt Cheap prices. During December, Dirt Cheap has the St. Louis area's best prices on Maker's Mark and Wild Turkey 101. They've got you covered, I can promise you that. They've also got you covered when it comes time for an app. Get on the Dirt Cheap app and you get even more savings, specials. There's clubs to be a part of. You're absolutely going to love everything about it. You can place an order online with the app. You can go pick it up. Most of the locations have a drive-through for you. So convenient. And again, it's all about the prices. Dirt Cheap prices, high-quality spirits. That's over at Dirt Cheap. So please go out there and visit them and tell them Jamie Rivers sent you. And remember, have fun, but be careful out there.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update, brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues will be back in action tomorrow night, taking on the Detroit Red Wings. Pregame starts at 5:30. Puck drop is at 6:30. You can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. Tonight we have one of the Monday Night Football games on ESPN right here on 101. Titans and Dolphins. Kickoff for that one starts at 7:15. So stay tuned for after the show. Titans-Dolphins Monday Night Football. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We talk Blues hockey, Cardinals baseball, Shohei Ohtani, and the Week 14 NFL slate. So once again, if you missed anything, make sure you go to the website or use the free 101 mobile app. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, independent American standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
All right, so biggest question of the day for you guys. I was thinking about this when we were talking about Shohei Ohtani earlier this hour. And Marsh, you actually mentioned the name that I was thinking about last segment. Why aren't we viewing Shohei Ohtani joining the Dodgers like Kevin Durant joining Golden State?
There's a big difference.
I think we are,
I
though.
like Shohei.
Okay. At least you're willing to admit that, because I think that would be part of it.
Did you not like Kevin Durant before? Because I thought Kevin Durant was somewhat of a friendly face in the NBA. He played for OKC, small market. They almost beat Golden State.
I'm with you on that.
He was fine. He was fine.
But you know what I mean? Like, why? Shohei Ohtani, in effort to win a World Series, and I'm not blaming him because he played in L.A. and with the Angels, but in effort to win a World Series, he joined a super team with the Dodgers.
Yeah, he should have joined the Cardinals, actually.
He should have joined the Cardinals.
That'd have been perfect.
And deferred all that money.
Absolutely.
Or just taking the $2 million just to play in baseball heaven.
Yeah.
I think it's more than just joining a power team.
Mm-hmm.
I think now that, look, Mookie Betts, they have a great team. But I also feel like with the LA Dodgers, although all of his money's being deferred, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier, just the presence of the LA Dodgers globally.
Sure.
So Shohei Ohtani will bring eyeballs to the Dodgers. Trust me.
Yeah.
Everybody over in Asia and other places, no matter where they are in the world, will be tuning in for LA Dodger games. So the brand itself will spread throughout the globe, and they'll sell jerseys, they'll sell T-shirts, all this stuff. So I don't know. I view it as a financial opportunity at the same time as winning a World Series. It doesn't hurt that he's joining a really good team.
Yeah.
But I think he made it clear from the start he wanted to go to a contender. Like, he didn't say it. He never said, oh, you know what? If the Cincinnati Reds give me a great offer, I'll go there. He never said that. He said he wanted to play on a competitive team.
Mm-hmm. But we chastised Kevin Durant for doing that. We are celebrating
but I view this different.
Shohei Ohtani.
I view this different, and it's not just because I can't stand basketball. It's because
I think it's exactly why you can't stand basketball.
Maybe, Anthony. You know what? That's your opinion, and you're entitled to that. Okay? Don't make me hit the dump button again.
Like we said before, I've been working with you for 3.5 years now. Should have been 4. I know you.
Could have been 4. I opted out. So. The way I view it differently, though, is like if it was a hockey player, I'd view it differently, too.
Yeah.
Only because baseball is so specialized when it comes to hitting and pitching. Like, if it was just a second baseman or something that joined, and you'd be like, okay, I get it, you know. But Shohei Ohtani is, like, he's an ace and he's a cleanup hitter. Like, it's so different. Kevin Durant was a great player, but he was one of 5 on the court. Mm-hmm. And at no point, I shouldn't say at no point is there one-on-ones, because there are, but there are in hockey too.
You're right, though. There's 5 compared to...
It's a team group, whereas the matchup of on the bump, Shohei Ohtani, game 1 of the World Series against Aaron Judge of the Yankees. Mm-hmm. Like, this is why you're paying him the money. This is why You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I don't know. I just view it differently.
I think your point about there's only 5 in basketball. If you have 2 superstars, you can win a title. If you have 3, you're almost guaranteed to win one, right? If you can simulate that. In baseball, with 9 plus an entire bullpen and pitching staff, like the talent is a little bit spread out more. But I just think it's interesting that I haven't heard one person say, "Oh, he's going to the Dodgers to win one. Couldn't win one with the Angels. Now he's just joining a super team." We did that, right? But we did that with Durant. Couldn't beat him, so he joined them.
And then never won again.
If he joined the Yankees, though,
he's not a bus driver. Ask Charles Barkley. He's a passenger. He's not a driver.
Well, Chuck ain't wrong.
if he joined the Yankees, would we have the same?
Who, Kevin
thought?
Durant?
No, not
It'd be
Kevin
way
Durant.
different. I think that would be way intriguing, though.
Yeah, I don't
right?
think he can hit.
How
He
big
already
do you
went
think
to
that
the state of
strike
New York.
zone is?
As big as Aaron Judge is?
How tall is Aaron Judge? 6'7"?
He's probably
Durant's like 6'10", isn't he?
How about Mizzou center? 7. He's listed at 7'5".
What? How's his
Connor,
quarterback going to see over him?
Basketball team.
Oh, sorry, Anthony.
Not center in football. Basketball.
You love what I do.
So we got a text from the 314.
Seriously, 7'5". I mean, they probably had it 3 inches, right? But
That's
even
a huge
7'2"
guy.
I mean, holy smokes.
The 314 says, "I hate Ohtani now. He needs the A-Rod treatment."
Okay. All right.
Well, he's
so
not on
maybe
PEDs, we think.
No, not that kind of treatment.
Not that treatment, Jamie. They're joining the Yankees treatment.
Nobody liked A-Rod, though. That's not fair. Nobody liked him to begin with. Everybody always thought he was pompous, little
When did
cocky.
it turn, though? Because with the Mariners, I felt like he was okay.
By the end of his tenure with the
Rangers.
Mariners, the secret was out.
Okay, he's guy's a turd.
But yeah, the teammates, people, media were like, hey, good luck with this guy.
Right.
Hell of a player, but is he a guy that you want to go have beers with? Maybe if he's buying. I mean, sure. I'll go to Vegas with you, A-Rod.
You know what, though?
Oh, you're Huckabee.
This is
Did you say Huckabee?
Yeah. What is it?
Huckleberry? Huckabee's a politician, Anthony. You got to be careful around here.
That's my fault. Like, no idea what side he's on.
That's amazing.
I just said it to you because you always say it. But you say it right.
Sorry, Marshy.
Huckleberry.
We're idiots, Marshy. Go ahead.
My man.
Like my thoughts on the Dodgers, like as a whole, I don't like the Dodgers. Like I don't like them, and it's good because they're good, right? I don't like because they're good. They get the best players. But if you look at the main players on their team, from an outside perspective, they're all likable dudes. Freddie Freeman, likable dude.
Right.
Mookie Betts, likable dude. Does have good teeth, yeah. Shohei Ohtani, likable dude. Like that's their big 3.
Yeah.
Great hair.
So it's like, where do we not like the players anymore, or do we just not like the team?
I don't like them.
I don't like their team.
They're trying to buy a championship.
I agree.
And we've had a problem with that, Marsh. And I know you're with me, so I'm not yelling at you.
Like teams,
I'm yelling with you.
I don't like teams that buy championships unless they're here in St. Louis.
We hated the Yankees. We hated the Warriors for it. Now the Dodgers just get some free pass. Why? Because they got terrible hot dogs? No, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. No.
By the way, the price of their wieners just went up.
$45 a wiener now. If
That's
to
a
go to
lot
a
for
Dodger
wiener.
game,
That
I'm sure.
wiener better be damn good.
It better be damn good.
By the way, speaking of prices going up, did you see that the Blue Jays, when it came out that Ohtani was quote unquote flying to Toronto, that the game 1 prices went up? And then when it turned out that he signed with the Dodgers, they went down to like $50. Imagine being one of those guys that bought tickets.
Oh, no.
When they were like $300, $400.
That's not a bad idea if you're kind of a shady company.
Oh, man.
Now what you have to do, oh, yeah, never mind. You couldn't flip the tickets. Not for that's just a bad business decision.
Right, yeah.
You got to eat it, invite a client, and write it off.
Jamie was so smooth in that transition. It was awesome. He was like, nope, I made a mistake, and then he turned it into a positive. That's a pro. All right, that's your biggest question of the day. You're in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. When we return, criticisms, compliments next.
Anthony, no matter how cold it gets outside, FanDuel Sportsbook stays absolutely scorching hot. Why is that? Because they have great promotions all the time. And one promotion they've been running for a while now that I absolutely love is that new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. So all that means is you take $5, you bet on a team.
Dolphins.
Okay, great. Bet on all they have to do is win. So it doesn't matter where they lay in the spread. You don't even worry about the numbers. Just pick a team you think's going to win. Bet $5, and you get $150 in bonus.
Jamie, that sounds like a great deal.
I love it.
So then you could turn that $150 and bet the spreads, the player props, the same game parlays, all at America's #1 sportsbook, FanDuel. They're fantastic. But you do have to sign up at FanDuel.com/fast. Again, FanDuel.com/fast. Enter that code FAST at the end there. FanDuel.com/fast.
Well done.
Play the $5, take the Dolphins tonight, watch them roll against the Tennessee Titans, and then you get $150 in bonus bets, all courtesy of FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL.
21 and over, present in Illinois. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame money line wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issues not withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Jamie and Anthony and our guy Stewie's on the line right now. Stewie, the reason why we called you is we know that tomorrow and Wednesday, something we need to know. This is why we call you. So what's coming up tomorrow and Wednesday that we need to know about?
Anthony, the Federal Reserve is meeting tomorrow, Wednesday. The CPI report, that's the inflation report's coming out tomorrow. This is a pivotal moment to see what the Federal Reserve is going to say. I'm not that concerned with what they do. I want to hear what they have to say. If they say that inflation is pretty much in check, things are going in the right direction, you're going to see mortgage rates slide. If you go ahead and they say, no, we're not going to do anything, we're going to raise it, and we're going to continue raising it, you may see rates go up. My opinion, it's going to drop a little bit. So take advantage. If you bought a house last month or the month before, you got a mortgage, you're in the upper sevens, refinance now. If the rates go down, we'll refinance you again. With the bagel loan, how much do they have to pay, guys?
Zero.
So there's no cost. A bird in the hand's better than two in the bush. And as my grandfather always says, nobody knows anything. Take advantage. Refinance now. Rates go down. We'll do it again. It won't cost you a dime. Let's see what the Federal Reserve does.
Bada boom, bada bing. Stewie, you are our guy, and he needs to be your guy, too. All you have to do is give him a call or a text on his personal cell phone number. Here's the number, 314-324-4440.
Again, 314-324-4440.
Call, text, day, night, weekend, doesn't matter. Stewie's there for you. I promise you that. If you can't remember the number, Anthony, what can they do?
You can always Google the bagel loan. Don't forget to tell them Jamie and Anthony told you to call or text. Stewie, keep up the great work.
Have a good night, guys.
NMLS number 226715.
You've come to the right place. You're in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com or your 101 ESPN mobile app, all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We talked about Ohtani a lot. Jamie ticked off Cardinals fans a lot with some of his comments. I blame the Bills for being embarrassing just as much as Kadarius Toney and the Chiefs last night. So you can listen to the podcast, find out the reasons behind that. Jamie talked about maybe where the Blues are missing some offense. Might not be where you thought they were missing offense. And we just had a lot of laughs today. Lots of laughs. It was a good day. No question. All right, Marsh, what do you got for questions? Questions and answers. What do you got for criticism and compliments?
All right, we got one from the 636. Stewie is great. Got me refinanced when others couldn't, saving me over $500 a month.
Yes, boy, Stewie.
Stewie's incredible.
This is why we tell everybody to call him. We're not joking. It's not like a shtick for us. Every day, even Stewie comes in here, he's off the air. He talks to us and tells us about things that he's doing, what he's planning on doing. Like, this guy is constantly working.
This is the person that you absolutely want to be refinancing loan. All this. He's in the best way possible. He's a psychopath when it comes to his work, and he loves it.
Last one here from the 314. Didn't get to listen to much today. Was pleasantly surprised to hear the Three Musketeers today. This show, man, just has a different buzz when all three of you guys are in the booth together. Just like that fastball that has extra onion or zip on it from the starter in the 8th inning of a complete game shutout. Man, it's music to my ears. Keep on trucking, fellas. Have a great week.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you.
That's
an awesome text. Absolutely.
My goodness.
It's funny. Jamie and Jamie and Marsh were talking about that too. Jamie's doing a lot of traveling with the Blues, and well-deserved opportunity, man. Absolutely is crushing it. But we do love when all three of us are in the studio together.
Yeah, and we appreciate your patience on the days we're not all together in the studio.
Yeah, we appreciate you listening. For Andrew Marsh and Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. Monday Night Football tonight. See ya.